Futures back in negative territory this morning. Still very headline-driven market that we continue to deal with here. More reports of movement as far as Ukraine and Russia are concerned. We'll get into that. Big move down overnight on some reports of shelling that happened. We came all the way back to break even, now heading back to the downside. On more reports, we just got the initial jobless claims for last week. Looks like they're higher than expected for last week, 248,000 in the U.S. versus 219,000 expected there. So a little bit worse off. Coming off, pretty flat performance yesterday. If you remember, all three U.S. indexes relatively unchanged, slightly higher, slightly lower at the end of the day. The market did digest the latest minutes from the Fed. The January meeting ended up being not a big deal. No change as far as the language was concerned coming out of that meeting minutes. As far as earnings are concerned, a lot of them to get through this morning. NVIDIA, Walmart, Fastly, FSR, Fisker, DoorDash, all with reports. Palantir as well to the downside this morning after earnings. So we'll have lots to discuss this morning. Weekly jobless claims, as I mentioned there, a little bit higher than expected, guys. 248 versus 219 expected for that number. It's Thursday, February 17th, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at some more red numbers. As we were mentioning, about 0.5% there, leading the way for the NASDAQ to the downside. 0.4 for the S&P. The Dow also about 0.4 now in negative territory. Cryptocurrencies coming off as well in these latest Ukraine and Russia headlines. 3.25% for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Just seeing the weekly jobless claims number from last week also revised to the upside as well, ever so slightly. So potentially, anyways, a little more negativity to deal with this morning, although the market not really reacting all that much. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday morning. As I said, very headline-driven type of market continues. A lot of volatility to deal with in the overall futures, but a lot of individual names moving around here this morning as well.
Yeah, welcome and good morning. I'll hit this one. Oh, flat shot action. And then we have...
Pretty good time.
Gotta do it. Congratulations to the Canadian women's hockey team. Gold medal. Sorry, USA, but that's kind of our domain. It's what we do around here. I don't play hockey myself, but hey, good win for them. Yeah, I came in. That's probably the positive thing we'll be talking about here today, because even like the name that's up the most, like DoorDash, was like, it was kind of, I mean, look, they lost more money than expected. The growth was big, but yeah, the reaction to a lot of what we're seeing is very negative. I mean, 50% growth, and we'll get into some of the names, but like NVIDIA's report really wasn't that bad. I guess the guide wasn't good enough here. And then we get more headlines and I guess more concerns with Russia and Ukraine. And with the Fed gone, well, with the Fed minutes now done, it feels like we're just going to be dwelling on this for the rest of the week, or at least the market is, which is not always the most fun thing to do in the market, having to watch those headlines come through. Thankfully, we've got Brendan, so we'll get everything live as it hits the wire. But there's so much to look at today. The earnings board was absolutely crazy. So narrow down on those names, because, I mean, I was just looking at like stocks that are at key levels. Usually I'll write down about 15 names and then have 5 or 6 that I actually like key levels on. Yeah, I had like 15 names and I've got levels behind next to every single one that's even on my list today, which is entirely too much. So patience is probably going to be a big deal today.
I'm trying to invoke some patience myself. Here today, we'd be in some shares already, and we're going to wait on that. We have a few obviously ideas today with Palantir coming out, and we knew that was going to be. I mean, we didn't know it was going to be a bad miss or anything like that, but you don't make money in this environment, which Palantir never has. So, sort of expecting that. Roblox as well should be on the watch today. Pretty impressive with the Fisker report. So we'll see if we can grab some longs there. That might be one to look at as well. And then Cisco, the old Cisco, their old technology seems to be doing pretty well as well. And we'll just play it by ear, because we came in here and everything was fine, and then I look down and the market starts going downside, and then we look up about some more Russian news, right? And so like I was telling this to you guys yesterday when I think it was Marlon or whoever, or Emily one maybe it was, who asked about it. It's like, it's going to be, if we're only going down because of Russia, Ukraine, then I mean, it is a buying opportunity, but there's so many more underlying factors. Like, obviously we had I mean, maybe we could ask Peter Schiff if there's anything wrong with the market.
He's got a few underlying factors for you.
He might have a few reasons why you may not want to be in this market, but there's also reasons to be in it as well. I mean, some of these prices are very, very depressed. I think you got to find the right names. I think Roblox is the right name at this price. I actually think Palantir down here near this 12 bucks is at the right price. I think Nvidia is at a right price as well. I think Fastly maybe is not. That might go down even further than where we are today.
Still not cheap, actually.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, if you're going to look at EPS and things like that, then there's not too many names right now that we should be buying. But I mean, I don't know. I feel bullish, but I don't want to put new money to work. So I don't know what that means, Brendan.
Yeah, very sensitive, I guess is the best word to describe this market overall this morning. So we'll talk about some of the earnings reports coming up here as we get into things. Before we do, Miss V is to my left and ready to go. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy Trading Thursday to you all. I wish you a profitable day, and please make sure you like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to get through this morning, guys, as far as what is making news this morning. I want to maybe a little bit of a lighter note to start things off, depending on how you look at it, I guess. DWAC here up for the second day in a row, 0.3. Coming off a little bit there with the overall market, but big level at 85 held as resistance for most of the day yesterday, so we'll see what happens. But investing.com saying now hundreds have their hands on Truth, the beta version of Truth Social ahead of its expected launch. So the testing, I guess, getting ramped up here for Truth, guys.
Yes, sir. And look, it's going to sound like a broken record for the stock, but every single day it's making the same test. And, you know, when it happens, I mean, eventually, the longer you go up to a level like this up here at 87, it keeps trying to break. You get these failed breaks over and over again, and there's just no breakout. And I haven't even had a short on that level, which is stupid, since, what was that? Like, it's over, yeah, actually just over a week ago, and that was the day after it made that little bit of a flush. And at some point, if it keeps doing this, it's going to make the breakout. At this point, you might have to call it 88. Forget about 87 because you keep having these failed breaks, and then you've got a big gap fill. So that's what we're waiting for. You talk about being patient. You know, you either get that or maybe you get some 80s or somewhere down there. Otherwise, you're sort of waiting for something to happen. There's been good shorts. There was a lot happening at the open. So, I mean, you had to pick and choose your spots. But this just remains on radar. You just set an alert, you set a stop, and then you're waiting for this one to finally break out of the range. I think, you know, it probably has to get through 88 at this point. That 87 break has been pretty unreliable. If anything, that's been a short every time it's gotten there.
I always take that 86 break. Oh, here it is, right here. I was gonna say, I think I took it yesterday or the day before, 86 break, and then it didn't go, and I got out at 84 break or 84.50 break. So that was $1.50 worth of a loss there. Could it happen again? Probably. But look, even if you held it, it went back up in the afternoon. Again, the problem is DWAC for me is you can't really trade it with any decent amount of shares because of this kind of stuff. The liquidity is just not there until it starts to run. So I think we got to wait, obviously, for that opportunity to happen. And I mean, 44,000 shares is not a great indication of liquidity. So let's just wait to see. Again, I feel like the break is great here at 86. But it needs to get a little more juice behind it. So if you're going to trade DWAC today, I would rather sit down here, 83 and change, see if you get picked up on any dumps, especially if we are going to dump off here off the open with some scarcity, A, in liquidity, and then B, some of the headlines that we've talked about. So for me, I like it down here. I think DWAC's going to be a thing. I mean, I think the Truth Social is going to be a thing. I think it will be followed. I think it will be something, it will have, you know, some political headways and whatnot like that, and people will be talking about it. So hey, you know, I don't know about the valuation right now of this particular, because I look at Twitter and I think that if the Truth Social could have as many users as Twitter, as many, you know, Twitter's still not making money, like they're not monetizing properly. So I don't know about this as an investment, but I do think that, you know, it's going to be something, and we'll just wait to see what that something is. So I'd rather trade it when we have a little more news on the financials as far as an investment. But for a day trade, yeah, it's hot. It just needs some volume. So for me, we'll wait to 83, and then if the volume starts to pick up and you start, even if it halts once, it's probably going to halt again, and then maybe even again. So once it starts going and it starts getting on social media, and okay, oh, DWAC's going, that's when, you know, traders like us tend to step in, because the volume volumes there, and then we can use levels and share size that we feel is more appropriate. But like right now, I don't really see much. It's already been up here on light volume, so I think Neil was mentioning letting it fall down a little bit as well, maybe some levels near 80, something like that. So Brendan, that would be my call on DWAC.
Yeah, and that's a key. Just it's the hype trade, right? Once it gets hyped up enough, it'll start to go. Interesting note before we get into some individual names here. Interesting note on Amazon after market yesterday from Dan Loeb, who we were talking about earlier this week. So not a huge move this morning. It's positive anyways. But Dan Loeb coming out, third point, coming out saying there's still $1 trillion worth of untapped value in Amazon left to be discovered. So I thought that was pretty positive in the current market.
Yeah, it is. I mean, of the FANG names, I suppose, they've been sort of that lagger going sideways. They haven't really been having ridiculous pullbacks. It was at one. But for the most part, it's been a sideways story. They kissed and made up with Visa recently. So, I mean, and I guess that's good for people in the UK. But the reality is this is something you're just basically waiting for a bit of a breakout. And I think it's because of the support it's had, it's been a decent place for a store. You haven't had as much downside risk. As far as trading it goes, I'm almost never going to be trading something like an Amazon. It's just generally something better. Like on a day that Amazon's going to be moving, you can definitely find something else which is going to be a little more conducive to the style of trade that we do. But there is a nice little channel which is forming for a potential break if you like that. But on a $3,200 stock, looking at $80, in comparison, like would I be going gaga off a stock that had a good $3.20 break? And I'm like, oh, you can get 8 cents. Like, okay, in some circumstances, it's actually really good. But here, that's why Amazon is a boring name. That can be good as a part of a portfolio, looking for a potential run to the upside, looking for potential breakout, looking for a little bit of safety, or a tech name which hasn't had quite as much volatility. But for the day trade, probably going to stay away. I think that the kiss and make-up is probably good news for Visa, though, although I didn't see that move too much.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's been a good stock here off the bottom, 27.50. I mean, it did break the range, held down here, and it's still at its 50-period moving average. So like Apple, it's one of the only names that are around there, but it hasn't really moved too much over the last year or two. So Amazon definitely stuck in a range here, but a great bottom there, 27.50. Can't complain too much about it. And it's, like I said, it's very impressive. I actually was thinking that it was going to be lower than this. If you told me what the NASDAQ was doing, I would have thought Amazon would be more down near some of their lows. So 3,200 is a great little level here for AMZN. For me, though, again, it still has a 45 PE. So, I mean, if what we're doing is trading stocks with lower PEs and trying to buy those, this doesn't fit. But I think it's like historically probably near its all-time lows for PE. So if PE's never mattered for Amazon, then maybe it shouldn't right now. So I don't mind it. Look, the NASDAQ's going to be down 1% and this thing's going to be up. So Amazon, yeah, here it is right here, up 0.4 today. NASDAQ about to go to down 1%, right? I mean, the market just keeps getting cracked here. More and more news on Russia coming through right now. The U.S. has given them some security proposals, things like that. So let's just wait to see on their response. I don't think this is a bluff by Russia. Brendan and I were just mentioning this. Like, he doesn't know the games that are being played. Neither do I. I don't think anybody does. But I just feel like if Russia doesn't do something, then they are going to lose, in their mind, maybe a little bit of credibility and a little bit of like, hey, you're threatening all the time, and yet nothing ever comes of it. So I was thinking it was going to happen post-Olympics, but maybe it's going to happen during. So let's see what happens today. But apparently there's more troops lining up, Brendan.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Luis Barbado joining us from Barcelona, Spain. Day Trade the World office over in Barcelona. Good to see you, as always, Luis. An interesting morning here once again, as we've been talking this week. A very headline-driven market right now, both directions, positive and negative here. It's been tough. It's been choppy. It's been back and forth. First of all, how are you? And good to see you. And how's your week been?
It's been very good. As you say, a lot of volume, a lot of movers, mainly in the big caps in the blue chips world. Surprising, right? Like everything is moving 10, 15% with earnings. I think we didn't see this for years, that earnings were moving so much in the market. Blue chips surprising, like Facebook, Palantir today, UPST, anything, all the technos going down or up 20%. Crazy market, yeah.
Yeah, crazy market. Lots of, here we are back at session lows here, even the overnight lows being tested currently. What have you been focusing on when it comes to, individual stocks? There haven't been, those crazy 100, 200% runners that we've seen, going into the end of last year and the beginning of this year. So it's important for traders to be able to understand that the market has changed and be able to shift gears and look elsewhere. What have you been focusing on of late?
You're right. I was looking some statistics this weekend, and a lot of traders surprising how slow the small cap war it is. But you know what? This is for more new traders, because 2020, 21 has been crazy. Like every month we had like 60, 70 runners over 30, 40% over the month. And we are back to normal market 2017, 16, 18, where we had like 10, 15 stocks gapping up 30, 40% in the whole month. So it is more or less normal market in the small cap, but the volume has moved to the techno and blue chip market. AMD with huge volume, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, all the techno companies in NASDAQ are moving a lot of volume and a lot of volatility. It's like a normal day if AMD or Apple goes up 2, 3, 4%, which is crazy usually. So you have to adapt to the new market, understand it's more expensive stocks, blue chip, but there is a lot of volume and a lot of noise to scalp very fast these stocks.
That being said, lots to consider today as far as we said, earnings. Once again, what are you focusing on today? What kind of stands out as far as up or down this morning?
Yeah, we're looking for gapping down, NTTR, Palantir as well. Those are the main two tickets. Some of the earnings of yesterday and today, like NVIDIA or Shopify, we're going to trade it as well. We have been very active on AMD for the last month or even more. It is with huge volume every day and some like normal volatile with volume movements on AMD. On the movement up, Dash is the main watch for today, gapping up 20%, but a little bit low volume so far on Dash. So mainly focus for us, Tesla, AMD, Facebook, Apple's, these techno companies for us here in Barcelona.
Great look at DoorDash, great forecast for DoorDash as well. If you're on the fundamental side of things, wanted to mention Upstart as well, UPST, monster report for them going back a couple days ago, nicely positive yesterday. Quietly here, I couldn't find anything significant on them again this morning, but quietly here up 4%, or was at least up 4% as well.
Yeah, yesterday up with the earnings and gapping up and holding pretty nice, buying all the dips, like instant buy. When it did, were a lot of instant buyer to push it to highs. It tried $150. It couldn't break it yesterday, but it's opening above that. Don't forget the stock is going down from 400. So we got a lot of room to go on the way up. So let's see if it's holding today. We're going to try to buy the dips again on this ticker.
It's difficult to, when you're trading something that's come off, 70, 80% in some cases with these names. It's difficult not to be, biased in one direction to kind of, maybe capture some of that move, as you said, back to the upside. What has been the key as far as finding the right direction in this market for you?
I have always believed that the direction is not the most important part of trading. You can be wrong direction, but if you size up properly and the timing properly, it is more important, the timing and the size than the direction. I have always believed that, and I've been trading for 20 years, and many times I'm wrong in the direction, but I am right in the timing or the sizing of the position. So, but it's also important to have a bias, not to forecast what's going to happen, but to avoid the emotional pain of being wrong against your beliefs. So let's say if UPST go up today and I'm losing money going short, it's not about the money I'm going to lose, but going against my belief that it's going to go up. So, it's more about having this bias to avoid emotional pain of being wrong and losing money being wrong against your own bias. That's the main point. I think it's important not only focus about the money and the direction, but also focus about the psychology and how do you take as a human being of being wrong or being right or going against your beliefs.
Yeah, great advice. Wise words for sure. I wanted to mention one more before we let you go there, Luis. Marin, M-R-I-N. Let's go back to the summer of last year, or maybe even the fall of last year, where this thing was a crazy mover. It gave us weeks and weeks of opportunities. Positive news this morning with the TikTok integration. How are you going to approach MRIN?
Yeah, as you say, it was a crazy stock for last year. I think went from $2 to 30 or something like that in a week. So we're going to look very carefully today. 15 million float, and I think 8 or 9% short float, and it's trading already 4 million. So there is a risk of short squeeze. We have seen it last year, so we're going to trade it very actively. I haven't checked if it's easy to borrow today for us in Data World, but I'm sure you guys already checked. Be aware of the short squeeze in case it breaks 420, 450. If it breaks there, it can go to $5, $6, $7 pretty fast because of the low float and the short float in the stock. Right now, I really like the level 2. I really like the catalyst with the news on TikTok. So it's going to be a very active stock. If it holds over 420, it's going to be in play for the day.
Yeah, I don't think it's easy to borrow for us, but borrows are not terribly expensive. Luis Barbado from the Barcelona Day Trade the World office in Spain. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Have a nice day trading.
Best of luck today. Yes. There we go. A number of ideas there, guys. It's important to hear somebody with 20 years experience, as Luis was saying, talking about the ability to kind of change gears and adapt to different markets as we get them. Yeah,
it's so true because like last year, every single day there were probably you're picking between 6 or 7 small caps if that's what you wanted to do, and you could pick 2 or 3 to trade. Like lately, even just starting this year, there's maybe 1 that I like each day, maybe 2 tops that I think are worth it. And some days there's not even any of those bad boys, and it's like you're all into the bigger caps if you're wanting movers. And what I love what he said is like, you don't have to be married to a direction. A bias is great, being with the trend is great, but as long as you have a plan, good entries, exits, discipline, you can make money in either direction. I like that he's looking at Upstart because with the wealth of earnings today, like it would be easy to forget about the names that were going crazy yesterday. That's your Roblox, that's your Upstart. You can't really Airbnb is an example as well. Like if you had good reads and good levels on some of those, because 53 bottom on Roblox is an example. Like some of these things are going to be worth looking at today. So you can get caught up in too many earnings from today and forget about the stocks which established some good ranges that we can trade off of in yesterday's action and established breakout trends like Upstart did. So yeah, got to make sure they're on the radar. I know Upstart's on mine.
I almost took Palantir here at 50, but I mean, I have to try to be patient and wait as much as I can down here at 12.50, so we'll wait for that. Yesterday, we made the mistake of not checking out the imbalance locator when Roblox was like 700,000 or 800,000 shares to sell, and I'm here pushing the buy key. So today, we look again. It's still, like I said, 35 minutes till the open, so lots is going to change here, but it looks like the same names are familiar here, and it's funny that you said married to a stock. I ran into Tony in the getting a coffee, and he said that was hilarious yesterday when I said that I wasn't going to be married to said stock and then don't tell my wife. So Lewis there, keep my material, just like Daniel Shea, man. He's stealing the sticky note. Now Lewis stealing this. We like it, though, and I think that's an important point, though. You have to be able to switch gears, guys. Like, if you like Palantir long-term, you may think it's a short today. You may like Marin long-term, but maybe it's a short today. You might like Roblox long-term, but maybe it's a short today, or vice versa. Upstart, I'd love to short Upstart, but it has too much momentum. So you got to think about some of these plays, and do not get married to a position not in today's market, man. If it breaks your levels, get out, because we don't know what that next little, level might be. Like Roblox could break 50 and head straight to 40. So if you don't get out at 50, then you're sitting there wondering what your next move is. So, set those stop orders, get aggressive, and I may just dip into some Palantir here, but
patience. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
Forget it, I'm doing it. All right, what's up, Brendan?
Definitely. Great advice. Let's have a look at some upgrades and downgrades this morning, guys. Airbnb, top of the list. There it is, Upstart. Yum on here. The trade dex was 2 days ago, I want to say, earnings. Maybe yesterday, I can't remember. But big move for them. NVIDIA over on that side. Roblox, Shopify, and that's actually about 32% at this point for Fastly, guys. Huge mover.
Yeah, I mean, pick your poison. Like, Shop was crazy yesterday, and I know we looked at it, and I know we didn't trade it, but yeah, in terms of follow through on a move, like, it was down 5% in the pre-market. It kind of felt like, okay, it wasn't great, And then retail sort of came in and was buying it up a little bit. And then when it started to roll over, it just never stopped. It just would make a shelf and it would fall off the shelf. It would make a shelf, and then at the open, it just absolutely plunged off $800. It's got a bit of a double bottom to it. So like I said, like there's names that might have formed some levels that we're going to be watching here today that did it yesterday. Shop's one of them at 720. I saw someone just saying Affirm at 42. It's like, don't forget, if you've been making all your money shorting Affirm the last 2 weeks, I know there's a lot of earnings out there, but if you find some good opportunities in something you've been trading well, go to that. If you've been trading well in Moderna, then have a look at those names. If you like the chips, well, you got plenty to choose from here today. But yeah, Shopify, that was completely insane. It's got a huge gap to get filled if it were to ever find a good base. But in this environment, and of course now with the headline risk that we got, at least for now, I want to be very, very patient. I have one bid that I haven't backed off of, and it's in Cisco. So it's like the old tech bid's the only one I haven't canceled so far this morning.
Yeah, I have bids everywhere. I have bids on AMC. I have bids on Fastly. Short on Fastly. I have a bid on Fisker. I have a bid on Microsoft. I have a bid on NVIDIA. I have a bid on Palantir, and I have a bid on Roblox right now. But they're a little lower. So we'll talk about Roblox quickly. Let's close this imbalance locator. Yesterday, this 53. It's too bad that the trades aren't showing up here because we did have these bids down here. We chased it. It was the trade of the day. We chased it all the way down here. We should have, and this is what I mean, we should have respected that 60 level. It broke, and then we had to average in, and we're just fighting with it. We got some out on this pop, obviously, and then it just kept dropping down, and then you have this 53 level supported. So that's basically where I'm waiting. I mean, I'm waiting at 53.50. So we'll see if we can get some trades in here for Roblox. And then again, not respecting the 53 is going to be a mistake. So if it breaks through 53, you got to give it a little more love to the downside, but that's the level that you're working with here on Roblox. And then, like I said, you guys are saying patience. I was saying hold my beer, but thank you to someone in the chat for that one. But Palantir, I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait for this. I was kind of just tongue-in-cheek there about buying it. So we'll wait on that and see where we go for that. But I actually really like Roblox. I think if Roblox can come back in, there's some more negative reports on it. I mean, I don't know what these guys are going to do. When you create an open world video game where you allow the creators to create, there are going to be people out there that create different things that maybe kids shouldn't be seeing. And so I just think with AI and just with better scrutiny of said users and things like that. And I don't know how to solve this problem, but some of these games are going up there and they're lasting like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, and then getting pulled. You just hope that, I guess, your kid doesn't wind up in there. And if they do, I mean, it's cartoon characters, but either way, it's a dangerous and it's a slippery slope. So I just think on negative news, maybe we can get Roblox again down here, especially if the market does continue to fall. Like, remember I said we're going to be down 1%? I mean, that wasn't rocket science, but there it is. I mean, we're just continuing to move to the downside. The market is extremely worried about everything right now. Gold, again, shout out to Peter Schiff. Gold today up 1.4% or something like that. Really? So, yeah, I believe it was. I thought I was looking at gold up. It said spot gold. Hold on a second. Let me double check this. GLD.
Yeah, look at that.
Is it? Yeah, there it is. Woohoo. Sometimes I know something. There it is, gold up 1.2% in a nice little move. You can see GLD. If you don't hold gold, like physical gold, this is as close as you'll get. GDX is the miners. This is tracking like physical gold. So there's GLD starting to go up. And you can see, look, tensions in the market, right? I mean, if you just bought gold, this is Feb 3rd. So what are we at, 17? So 2 weeks ago, 167, 177. So, I mean, it does go, I don't hold any gold, so pie in my face or whatever, but, gold's now finding its breakout. You can see this is the daily chart, and again, it's a good investment for those of you that are in it. You're not really going to lose money in this environment, I can't imagine. So if you bought gold anytime in this market turbulence since the fall, like when the Fed started to really talk, it's been a nice little hedge against your portfolio. So I think gold continues to work. Do we get to this 195 peak? I don't know. We'll see. But gold's been a nice trade. Look at it for the last little while. Everybody that's been down on gold, I mean, there it is right there. It's a nice move. So, hey, there's lots of ways to make money in this market. Gold and energy seem to be the ones working.
Yeah, pushing highs even as we speak for the gold markets this morning. Let's get a check of the overall futures here. Bringing Arun back with us this morning. Important day for the futures this morning, Arun. Again, we're headline driven, very, very sensitive to these risks this morning. What do we need to know overall?
Headline driven, sensitive, but the market still does want to break out of some wide ranges, right? I thought we could get that done yesterday. It doesn't seem to be the case. We're still going to work with that 4,500. That's been in place since about the 11th, so I want to say last week, Friday or so. 4,500 roughly is going to be the top end. We're looking for shorts, anything from 4,460 going on up. There was an opportunity this morning around 8 o'clock or so for that. Now it's already moved. So if we were to go back up towards that 4,460 again, you would have to wait a little bit more. Since we've already kind of set that move up and we started to go down at least 20, almost 30 points now from there, now that move is probably complete. And if we were to go back, it might be a problem. So 4,460 is still available. We're just going to need a setup if we go back up there a second time. The other side is now we've kind of put in some form of a smaller base south of 44.25, it seems like. So I'm going to mark off 4,400 even to the bottom and see if we can't get a support level around 44.25, 44.20. And maybe if we get a setup there, you just kind of bounce it in between the two ranges, right? 4,400, 4,500, just kind of play ping pong in between and see if we can't range trade this until we get a breakdown, right? Even if we break, say, 4,500, there's a few other levels that we need to clear. We need to clear 4,550. If we clear 46.20, that's going to be the big one. If we get past that, we can actually say that we've got a decent breakout happening and there's a much larger upside there. So a couple of resistance levels above, and then down below you have, it looks like 43.15 below the 4,400. So we are going to be kind of range trading this until we get a decent breakout. Yesterday was the best chance. I mean, it still might happen post Fed minutes, but it doesn't look like this market wants to get going at any point just yet. So maybe more patience might be required for this market.
Yeah, thanks, Arun. Great stuff as always. Definitely not as positive, at least as we saw late in the day yesterday after the Fed minutes. There is the link, guys, to the morning watch list that we send out every single day before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. All you need is an email address. Miss V will help you out in the chat if you do need that. Before we jump into that, another earnings name that's worth a mention is Fiverr, up big time this morning, 13.5%, or was 13.5%. Not a lot of volume here, but decent report, decent forecast for FVRR, another one that's just been crushed over the past couple of months. So we'll keep that in our back pockets and see what happens with Fiverr at the open. Let's go to NVIDIA, though, to kick things off. I mean, was it a bad report overall? I mean, it seemed pretty decent as far as the numbers were concerned. NVIDIA down, though, in the aftermarket, a little bit negative here this morning as well.
Yeah. I mean, look, I couldn't find, I mean, there's a lot of people, even on Twitter, there's a lot of people talking about NVIDIA right now and can't believe, some of the numbers that they posted up there. And why is it even down? I mean, you're down that 2.69% right now. NVIDIA, look, they beat on earnings, they beat on everything, forecast, everything is great. But then now, of course, people are going to start questioning their margins. And I mean, if that's going to come into play, then I guess that's what they're going to question. So I don't know. I mean, they're going to be revamping some of their business models here. Good revenue, good earnings. I mean, I'm just rereading it. Good demand. Hit a little bit here on crypto worries, a little bit from what I can see here. But other than that, I like the report. The thing is, it didn't get that. The strange thing about it is it didn't really, sure, that's an algo bidding this thing up to 276, but it never really got going. So I don't really, I thought the report was good. Looking at all the headline numbers is nice, but then I guess there was something in it about the margins that people didn't like. And normally, you'll see a stock kind of hang out and then just start to trickle down. But this never really had an opportunity to hang out. I mean, we closed yesterday at 266. And then it never really got above that on their earnings report. So that was a strange thing to me. People were tweeting at me right away and saying wasn't that a great report? Shouldn't NVIDIA be up? And it was yeah, I thought it should have been up, and I was saying it should be up today. Obviously, the NASDAQ making moves downside is not going to help NVIDIA. But you have this 255 area. That's where I'm bidding right now on NVIDIA. The daily chart's not going to show you much. Hopefully, I can find the 20-minute here quickly. But I'm going to try this 255, which is right in here. We dipped down there yesterday, held it, it pretty good before ripping up in the A and in the PM. So I mean, 255 is something you can go back here all the way back to the 8th or to the 9th. When it broke, it fell quite dramatically to 230. So that's why that area is a little bit of an area of concern for me. So, you know, if it holds, great. If not, then we got to get out, and then we'll relook at this thing. Maybe it touches a 250 spot. But if the NASDAQ, like, this is going to be one of those frustrating stocks of the day for sure, because if the NASDAQ goes up, this thing will turn green and rip the rest of the day, and there'll be nothing you could do about NVIDIA. Once this thing goes, it's not going to stop, because people are going to be like, oh my God, we should have bought this thing when it was down. Like, everybody wants to own NVIDIA. I mean, I don't know, even in the chat, somebody tell me somebody who's selling shares that they own at these levels, right? Everybody wants to own NVIDIA. It's the winner in the chip space. It's just right now they're down that 2.7%. And if the market gets going, this is going to be one that you're going to be pissed off that you didn't buy. So for me, you got to wait. It's only 258. This thing will move 10 bucks today, if not more. We just got to find out what direction it is. I'm looking at this 261 break, possibly here off open. If the market goes, that could be something you look at. But if you use a 261 break, then where do you get out? So that's the thing. We got to let this settle down. I thought it was a good quarter. I'm here buying at 255, and we'll see. I might even add it to the long-term holdings. Well, it's already in there, but I may average in. Last time I bought this thing was 279, so I didn't get any of that 230 love.
My concern with it is it's still a little bit expensive, right? So that's just from like a forward basis. But the growth, you knew they're going to grow big because they always grow big, and the revenue growth was fantastic. The concern sometimes, I look at my 15 and I look at the 270 level up top. So if you get a good report, and then you're basically like you're bouncing up into earnings on a good report with somewhat of a, I mean, it's a big consolidation, but somewhat of a consolidation for potential breakout in the short term. Like when you start to run away from that level, it becomes a bit of trouble. Like technically, it's like, okay, well now you've got resistance that you thought you were breaking out a good report. You got a good report and we're running away from it. So if the bottom gets taken out, you'll suddenly, like, where's your support? Maybe 250. That's what I'm kind of looking at, because this is a wipeout bottom off the open a couple of days ago. And so like 248 to 250 feels like the first level. But if that breaks, well then a lot of times when the setup fails, you go right back to previous support, which seems crazy, but I'm not writing anything off for this market. So, I mean, the only level I'm liking for the dip is a lot closer to that 250 level. And I'm sort of with you, Sean. Like, it's moving 10 bucks one way or the other. Like, it's either testing 270 at some point. And at a minimum, if it goes up, it should be testing 270. I can't see how it goes up and doesn't get there. And if we head to the downside, there's a lot of room, because the recent range is a wide one. It's a $40 range if you go top to bottom in this recent move in the last week and a half. So, you know, to anticipate that we could see either edge of it is, you got to expect that when we're trading in these markets.
Just a quick update here. So this is not going to end well. Russia insists on withdrawal of all U.S. forces from Central and Eastern Europe. All right, so let's just count down the days for Russia to invade Ukraine, because obviously U.S. is not going to pull out of Central and Eastern Europe, right? I mean, Brendan, do you know the country that has the second most population? Do you know, Neil, in Europe?
Well,
Russia's one, right?
Yeah, but you're not counting. You're not counting England. England's like 80.
England, no.
No, we don't. So it's got to be Germany.
No, it's Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine. Yeah, well.
40 million.
Okay, fine.
So,
I thought we were talking about
there you go. So let's just wait to see what happens here on that one. And
the problem with these headlines, is you're going to get like a completely different tone coming from each side of it.
Right, of course.
So it's like we're going to be trying to decipher. This is why I was frustrated with having to deal with this in the market, because there's so much actual technical levels and earnings to be able to digest, and now you're going to have to sort of navigate through these up and downs.
It's all crap. I mean, I don't know who to trust. No one knows who to trust.
Exactly.
That is unfortunately what it is there. Your mic fell off your shirt. Yeah, good job there, guys. Thanks, Lucas, for hitting that up there. But yeah, no, so what I was saying is that Russia insists on withdrawing, and then we talked about Ukraine having 40 million population. Like, this is a serious issue. I was going to throw it back to Ms. V, because your puppy is Ukrainian, correct?
Actually, that's true. My puppy arrived from Ukraine today, but he's still in airport because we need like approve his vaccination. And as soon as I get him back, yes, Ukrainian puppy. Russia loves Ukraine.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was hoping. That's so cute. I still can't believe that the dogs have to wait a week or whatever it is in quarantine, but I get why. It's fine.
Has there been
That has nothing to do with COVID.
So, but it's just a general. It's like a general rule.
Heartworm. It's like it just has to. You don't want dogs coming in that are sick.
Like I'm not a pet owner, so like this is a genuine question. I actually don't know.
No, that's standard. Like even a cat, anything like that. Like you can't import animals.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
that makes sense then.
Yeah. All right. Just like have you ever watched Border Security, man? Like you can't bring in meats or animals.
The episodes I watch,
sneak in birds and shit like.
Yeah, but the episodes I watch, it's always other stuff that is the topic of discussion. That's a good show, by the way. But
I like that show. Yeah. What's up, Brendan?
The other
really good.
Very important, I would say, headlines coming through there in that last little batch that came through, guys. 2 of them. Russia's also saying that. I mean, they're tripling down on this at this point. They're also saying that there's no Ukraine invasion planned or even in the process of being planned. And they also said Russia proposes to work out new security scheme with the U.S. So, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Back and forth we go. It's almost a double message coming here as we continue along with this. Let's go to DoorDash, another earnings report that was much better than expected for Dash, guys. Their forecast going forward also topping estimates, so pretty positive here for Dash.
The key is if you just say it's going to be good in the future, right? Because then no one's going to care about how much money you're actually making in the short term or right now. Because DoorDash, like when was the last time you saw a stock that had a wider loss than expected and was up? Okay, well, it's only up 23%. It was up much more than this, by the way, but is up this much. Some of it, okay. How much it had come down, it's still more than cut in half. What's gonna pique my interest every single time you're breaking out into a new range? It's got to be a tradable event here. So I look at that. I look at the bottom end of the range at 120 here. That's your first key level. Incidentally, that's also the pre-market high right now. And then I go all the way back to what was the previous high here, just that 110. So if in a pullback, you're looking at 110 about for support. And then testing this 120, which oddly enough we're about to test right now. So I tend to think it's a bit much on DoorDash. My first look would be to short it. Just A, the environment, B, the fact that they didn't make money in this situation. A lot of times you're getting punched for that. I get it. The outlook was good and the growth was better than expected, especially coming off the fact that people would have expected them to pull back because COVID is essentially close to over here. It feels like, but habits have been changing, so their growth is going to be sticky. Great. 25% or whatever it's going to be when it gets to $220 feels a bit rich for me, and I think there will be some profit takers, especially with all the uncertainty that we have. And as I say that, the futures just bounce
market,
whatever, man. Like it's like the futures are coming down. As I'm basically saying that, you get like a 60-point bump in the NASDAQ, right?
That stat must have been the largest population, maybe not in NATO, because Germany. You're right. Germany's 80 million.
I was surprised.
So I was surprised Ukraine was 40 million, but like when I said the largest population, and when you said England, I was like, it doesn't make any sense, even what I'm saying.
Although
you said Germany, it's like even France probably has more than Ukraine, but it must be something to do with NATO because I was reading something about that. I didn't even look at DoorDash. I mean, honestly, there's so much here to unravel with many other companies that DoorDash just for me is not really on my radar. The sticky note is out. You can go check it out at Trader TV. Sean, I have Palantir, Fastly, Fisker, AMC. AMC, I think, could be interesting today. And then wrapping it up, the biggest and the baddest of them all, Mr. Softy, also on the sticky note. So I'll post a sticky note up in the chat for one last time there. Hit the like if you like the sticky note. Hit the like if you like the show. And let's throw it back over to Brendan.
More headlines, guys. Ukraine now saying Ukraine's defense ministry now saying that the shelling that was reported overnight from pro-Russian forces has stopped. So, well, that's good. Let's go on to Palantir. Palantir, guys, with a forecast that wasn't that great. So, we bounced off 12 initially on the move down, but still, big move here for PLTR.
Look, revenue's up, more contracts, good. Like we thought Palantir would have had a great chance today to do something special, but then they come out and, they can't lie about their numbers, or can they maybe? They're not making money, but we know that. The problem is this company's 20 years old and still doesn't make money. In this environment, that's going to be a huge problem. I told you my biggest fear was waiting for these Palantir earnings. We've seen them dip down before on earnings. This was actually, and the one thing I want to show you is this was actually an earnings day here where the market, Palantir was absolutely getting clubbed. They opened the day at like 17, 18 bucks. They touched down 16, and this was on a negative earnings report, and they closed the day at 20. So, you know, you had a great rebound opportunity for Palantir. I think everything they're talking about makes sense to me, but at the same time, you can't be a negative company here. Their earnings per share is nothing. Their market cap is 25 billion, I think, at this price. I'm not sure. I'll have to get to that in a minute. But yeah, you got to wait for 12, and it's as simple as that. We've hit 12 numerous times before. My last buy was at 12.05. I'm not selling any of this. But again, another Cathie Wood stock that is a high growth name that continues to disappoint. Look, Peter Thiel's behind this. It's his company. He's a tech billionaire for a reason. So I'll stay with, what do they call them? The Silicon Valley Mafia or something. This guy, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, these guys are all the same. And the PayPal Mafia, that's what they're called. And you know, and look how PayPal's doing. So yeah, we'll have to sort of close our eyes, bite the bullet. If this thing falls, then we'll have to pick some up near 12. That's my plan. And other than that, let's just see where the momentum is. If this thing takes off, we know Palantir can get real hot fire, man. So just watch out. Like, look at yesterday when it took off. Like, it took off to 1430 and just ripped yesterday off of some nice volume. It was up yesterday in the post market, and then today just comes in and gets hammered down. So let's wait to see. You can see it's already picking up some steam here off of this 1250. So some nice bottom picks possibly down here, 1240. Let's see if we get going. I actually will test a 13 break. So we'll see if it can get up there. I don't want to short this thing at all because it's just so low already. If you do short it, I can't say that you're wrong, but for me, I'm going to wait for 12 to come. I am nervous for a blow to the upside here because I don't think the number or report is as bad as 10%. Just getting hit. It's a Cathie Wood stock. People love to short these things, and I think that's what's happening here with Palantir.
So outside of 12, I will just a little bit lower than 12. There's a couple of wicks down there. It's broken 12 a few times, then ran away from it. So maybe 1175 as well in addition to that. There is a price that if it was closer to it, I probably would be working a short right now. If it does make a jailbreak through 13 for whatever reason, if it happens, I'm not going to forget the fact that for 2 days in a row, someone was selling shares en masse at 14 and 14.20. Those two levels over and over again, there were chunk sellers up there. There's no way it goes up to the same price again with the resistance, and it doesn't have sellers in front. So I'm getting in front of that level if there's any kind of a bounce in Palantir today. And that's just based on the price action that we saw the last couple of days. I can't imagine how there wouldn't be sellers up there if it makes the bounce. I don't think I want to be buying it unless it's in front of that 12 even. So I might be sitting out Palantir unless we get a gigantic move one way or the other.
Going Fastly, the next one here, down big time, as we said, almost 30% in negative territory for Fastly this morning. It was about 32% at one point. Again, the forecast, the issue was a little bit light. Wasn't even that bad. I mean, it was a little bit light, and you get hit 30% here, bouncing along $20 here for Fastly.
Well, okay, so I don't know, like the loss that they're getting. Look, if you're losing money and you expect a wider loss going forward, that's going to be a problem. And Fastly has been under just so much pressure. You're running away from a key break. And we talk about stocks that are getting into a new range. Fastly is breaking into a new range, and that is through those lows. 21, post-market bottom, pre-market highs as well. That's your line in the sand. I want to be short. If it breaks 21, fair enough. You got to hunt for something a little bit better than that. But 21 is the line in the sand for a short for me on Fastly here today. And if it breaks the low, I mean, on the day, I had to go really far back in the daily, and I looked at it kind of like 17, which is so far in the past at that point. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. But 21's that level. I'm short in front of it. And then 17 would be kind of like that place where it's like if it gets that far, I'm getting out and hoping there's a bid to see if there's maybe a long down there.
Yep, okay. You remember my friend Snake? Yeah, his name is Adam Andrews. So this guy Adam
Snake's
Andrews.
it? Oh, never mind.
No, he's not. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It's like, do I know you? And then it's like,
I
no,
thought
same
Snake was
name. So what's up to Adam Andrews there? Shout out. Okay.
No jokes. I actually did not know Snake's name for years. You know
Right.
that, right?
Yeah, I know. I think a lot of people still don't. Okay, so $21. Look, for Fastly, I mean, I wrote down that, we'll see you later through 20. We have to, I don't know if we'll hit it, but we'll wait to see. But if it breaks through 20, you already have that bottom of 1950. So that could be an area where you might want to go long if this thing breaks. But multiple price targets come through on Fastly today. What the hell? And remember, I mean, this just goes back to this whole thing that I keep talking about is that, you know, people IPO, these underwriters, man, like the IPO, these stocks, which is fine. Fastly was already down here, but like what the hell were we all doing? Fastly goes back further. So, but what were we all doing like up here? I've never owned this stock, but like, I didn't mind it on pullbacks because of what they do with the web presence and things like that. But honestly, Fastly just continues to tank here, down 30% today, like absolutely disgusting. I should go back and say, where did Fastly IPO? 22. So that's what I was going to get at, was that I thought we were below the IPO price finally again. Fastly dipped down as low as 10 bucks. So again, like comes out at 22, goes up to 35, touches 10 again before ripping to 115. Like how, I mean, again, that's COVID, but like how disconnected were some of these prices on some of these stocks, right? Like, this is what makes me feel like Palantir is not so bad. Like 135, guys, down to $20 today. So let's just wait to see where we're going to go on Fastly. But if you're looking for some shorts, I'm going to give it a little more room than Neil. I am going to go short at 21. So I'm actually waiting at 2080 right now. So if we can short that. And then right into here, 2250, I think, is a spot that I'm most concerned about. So we'll give this short all the way to 2250. So it will be $1 or so worth of risk. Because again, if I get the 21 short and then I get it short at 22 as well, I still expect it to fall back into 20. So to me, that's like $2 worth of risk to the downside. And at that point, my average price will be like 21.75 or so. So giving me about $1 worth of a loss if we have to punch out. So I'm going to be shorting Fastly through the bottom, or sorry, if it goes back upside, and I'm going to be looking for a 1950 bottom. And then Henry, like, I know you said my words were calming on Palantir. It has nothing to do with this. There's a big sell here. For me, Palantir is just a longer term position right now. It's not going, I don't feel like this thing's going to work in the near term. We'll see what happens today. I mean, their next earnings report, they're still probably, I don't know, not going to make money again. So, you know, the tide has to change here on a lot of these stocks. And when you start seeing growth stocks like Roblox pick up again, you know, some of the data stocks like C3AI, Snowflake. Let's check out Snowflake today. This is another Palantir type name. They're down to 300 right now, but that's actually not bad. Their earnings report wasn't horrible. They actually went up on their earnings. You could see Snowflake here battling from the bottom. So I just think that, you know, these stocks need to settle down a bit before heading back to the upside. Snowflake's high is 400, and it's at 300 right now. Palantir's high, forget about Palantir's high because that was during all those meme crazy days. I feel like a Palantir high is legitimately near that $28 mark or so for Palantir. So you're still chopped in half right now on Palantir right in here. These are the highs. See, like again, if you got to know your stock, like I'm not just throwing out 28 out of my you know what there, as I do sometimes. But there it is. I believe these are the real highs for Palantir, not this meme stuff. So, you know, Palantir can get back, I think, to 20 bucks in the near term, but I'm not sure about these highs. So let's hold out on these bottoms. We'll look for 12 bucks today. And it's a good thing we held out a little bit as Palantir is still going down on a negative imbalance coming through. 8 minutes, Miss V.
Hey guys, indeed, less than 10 minutes left until the open. We have now 6,000 viewers. And guys, I remind you, please like this video and also make sure you are a subscriber of Trader TV Live YouTube channel. Now let's go to Brandon.
On that note, on the downside move following earnings, make sure you're back here with us this afternoon. Danielle Shea going to come through, talk a little bit about, from an options perspective, how you can take advantage of some of these negative moves that have been a bit of a pattern forming on some of these earnings reports. Worth a mention, Fisker, guys, holding up much better than the overall market here, 1.6 still following their earnings. I mean, decent numbers, 6.3 million reported, and that's simply from deposits, $250 deposits for the ocean. So 31,000 or some odd reservations now for the ocean. Production, apparently, according to the company, still set to begin in November.
Yeah, we actually were joking about deposits yesterday, just sort of like they're so much smaller for the EVs, and it's like, okay, well, how many of those get converted, right? Like, I'm just curious because some of these projects, some of these cars, they're cool, and it's like for $250, if you like it, like how could you not be putting the deposit down? So I think when we start seeing conversion numbers, that's going to matter more, and maybe they'd be up more than if that was a bigger amount, they'd be up more than 2% here. But hey, up when the market's all over the place and finding something with a little bit of strength. Also breaking out on the daily as well, above that above 1275. I know 13 is a round number, but on the daily, the breakout is at about 1275, 1280. I think that's the level to try to defend today. If it can't hold above that price area, right in here, then I'd be a little bit concerned that you're just going to fall right back in. So, I mean, I want to be bidding there. I don't like breakouts here today. Yesterday, they weren't good. They haven't been good this year. So I'm not really looking to take a breakout on the stock, but buying the dip, I think that's 75. That's the target area to start for me on Fisker. I think we have free shorts on that. In case it makes some kind of parabolic move to 15, pretty sure we have free locates in the off chance that we get a chance to short it. And I did want to mention, I don't know if you're going to talk about Marin there, but maybe Brendan's going to talk about Marin, but 420 I think is a stop. Luis talked about it. I'm short in front of that if I can get it. And Upstart I want to be buying in front of 150, but I'm going to allow Upstart to open. I'm not going to take anything on that stock until the market's open.
Look, I just put the sticky note up there. Fisker's on the sticky note here today. And, we talked about it, and it's just pretty simple. Nice report. Looks to be on track for the November release of the Ocean. The 1250 is the support rate there. I didn't even talk about all of the reservations and things like that. It's great. I like Fisker. I've said the only names that I'm invested in I'm in Ford. I'm in GM. Those are like legacy positions. So is Tesla. And then the only other EV name that I'm in is Fisker. I like them. I think they're working. They've tried to come public and make cars in the past. Looks like they're on track now. The Fisker Ocean is supposed to be a beautiful car, just like the Lucid Dream as well. So let's just wait to see what happens on that. They already have reservations from, what was the company that they have already? Someone's already bought a decent amount here. I'll find out who it is. But already, hold on a second. We have it in our notes, don't we? Company about 25,000 reservations. I'll find it for you. But they already have a big company that's trying to buy stock from them or cars from them. I'll find it out. But anyways, Fisker, I think it works. It's going to be a good name, and that's that. So I'm buying at 1270, 1250 as support for Fisker, guys.
All right, MRIN on the watch list as well, already kind of leaning over. We talked about that with Luis a little bit. I wanted to mention BKKT, very, very strong over the past couple of days for backed, if you remember, but we're breaking down through some key levels here. 775 and then 8 over the past couple of days has been a key area. I just took the breakdown of 750 there as that let go on the market weakness. We're bouncing at 650 or 675 right now. Any kind of retest, though, of that 750 area worth a look for backed, guys?
It's I just put in the chat. It was Service Now, 200 amazing cars, ready to rock and roll.
It might not have been in our notes, but
it is in our notes. It's hidden in there. That's why
okay.
It's right like the third note there. Down, they have 1,600 reservations and 200 of them from Service Now. So those will get converted. I mean. At least. Okay,
yeah.
So people talking about Facebook right now, taking out more lows, down 1%. You still have that low of yesterday morning looking at 212, probably gets tested again. To put a bid down there, I think we'll do it just to see if we get it picked up. We are trying to get some shorts, though, going as well. And I would rather not look at shorts right off the open. I feel like the market could test one more time back up here to 1420, 14,520, sorry, where we started this sort of dip down. I'm feeling like we could retest here and then head down. Remember that 14,400 that we talked about? That was really key for me. We'll see if that comes into play today. It probably does. We're not too far away from it right now, including 75 NASDAQ points. So that can come off in a blink of an eye. So let's wait to see what happens. I'm not super excited about anything right now, to be honest with you. I'm excited for Palantir at 12. But, I talked about PayPal Mafia and Peter Thiel. And let's not look at PayPal if we're going to be talking about these guys. So right now, PayPal testing brand new lows again. Wow, 109. Like what the
so much for not
hell
getting in
is going on? Okay, Fastly, we're short.
I was about to say, so much for not getting in for the open.
Yep, I'm short Fastly right now. $20.80 here. This is the price that we talked about wanting. We'll take this short, and we'll just see. It's right at these levels. I mean, you could see why I wanted 2080. It's right here. It could blow to the upside. I do have some other orders planned to get more short if it does come through, including 2180 down in here. And then we'll see what happens at 2250. That's going to be my stop area. So we'll put an order out to get out of that. But for right now, it looks like it may tank City. We're going to put a bid. Who knows? I hope so. We're going to put a bid down here at 2030 or so where VWAP is, see if we can get out a piece, and then we'll hold for a moonshot to the bottom side Fastly on price target cuts and whatnot. So into one position with a minute left.
Yeah, a minute to go. I did get into Marin there, essentially at $4, like a $3.99, that 420 level already mentioned by Lewis. I'm basically in the same position on over in Fastly. DoorDash, of course, this one that I didn't want. Didn't want DoorDash, didn't want Upstart, but in the pre-market, Dash goes to 120, 119.77, and then reverses $2. So this is the one off that 120 level. I am looking to try to sell this. If it breaks out from there, you got to be very careful because obviously it's up 24%. We've seen these things run in the past. NVIDIA actually pulling back in now and towards 256. So the dip coming back to the market, a lot to be looking at here today. You've got to be able to pick your spots here. Remember, Roblox 63 is a big level as well. Firm 42 we'll be looking at. In addition to, look, if Palantir goes to 12, I'll be all over that one. I just don't see it necessarily getting there. Miss V is on the bell. I want to say, let's drop that countdown. It's Thursday, so we're past hump day, and we're past Fed minutes. And now into earnings and headline risk. But 3, 2, and 1, ring it. Oh my God, Dash.
I like it. I like it a lot. Good ring there, Miss V. So yeah, we're just gonna stone cold chill here and see what happens in this market, as the market is a tricky one here today. Palantir with a big size on the offer. It hasn't opened yet. So actually, no, it has opened. So we'll wait to see if they could take this out at 22.1240. Then maybe Palantir's along. No, it has not opened yet. So scratch that. Palantir not open. We'll wait for it to get going here.
Yeah, and of course, this is what Dash does. They don't want to take it pre-market. It goes down $4 instantly and still falling. MRIN, which we did get into, Marin, I don't know. I never know how I'm supposed to pronounce
call it both.
Just broke the low of the day. We're out some in front of 380 here as it takes out that bottom. So now it feels like the pop and roll is pretty successful, at least for now. Fastly, I did get some out on that opening push. Oh, goodness, I typed it in NASDAQ there on the opening push. Now looking to see. It hasn't opened yet on Fastly, and my chart going to probably freeze on me there, but hasn't opened yet on the NYSE.
Okay, here we go. We are into NVIDIA. You might have heard me say something there because, yeah, the NVIDIA trade comes pretty fast. And bang, right there for NVIDIA. There it is. Nice little win there. We'll take a little bit off and we'll see where we go. NVIDIA long 252, out 254. Let's go, NVIDIA. We wanted to buy this one, man, and we did exactly that. So here goes NVIDIA, hopefully now to the high side, and we'll watch this one rock and roll. Oh, well, there goes $2.50 now in the money for NVIDIA. Could it fall? Yes, it can, but we're going to hold on to that one. We are into a new position now. That is Palantir, does fill us up at that bottom. So we're not full yet, but we do have shares in Palantir, 1226 right now. But I was pretty happy with that NVIDIA trade. Who knows where it's going to go from here? We held that hoping that this one wanted to run. So let's wait to see. Quickly taken out, man. As soon as I saw that in, offer, enter, bang. Let's see where it goes from here. Coming back in now on NVIDIA.
Of course, Dash is already at 111. And I was looking at... Yeah. So, look, I didn't want that one until the open. That's a mistake. Short of in front of 120, just had to do it. Cisco, I'm on the bid. I think I mentioned 54, 450. But as the market kind of came down at the open, Cisco went the other way. So old tech looking pretty good right now. I also said do not ignore something like an Affirm. 42 still very much in play, but it just bounced off 42, $1 into 43. So we're getting away from that level as we speak. The other one we wanted to watch, remember DWAC at 87? DWAC went to 87, 86, 92, and now starting to pull back. So I still think it's 88 that has to break. Not a ton of volume either coming into that name. And is NVIDIA already at, oh my goodness. Okay, here comes 250.
Yeah, NVIDIA is a problem. But we're already long here on NVIDIA, so we'll maybe take out another piece here. I don't know. NVIDIA is just nuts, that stock. So we're going to average into, I'm letting NVIDIA roll. I don't know if you're long or short or what.
I didn't get in front of 250. It went to 250.70, so I didn't really get the long there.
Yeah, I'm still long 252 here. Maybe we will put an order down there in case it does go even lower because, yeah, we have the same abilities to average in back and forth as well. So we'll do that. Okay, Fastly right now, 9 cents in the money. We're going to watch that one. What's up with my Fisker right here? Okay, so Fisker is coming back down. Don't I have a bid here somewhere? Yeah, 1270. So we're going to try to be as patient as we can with FSR here on that one. And then Palantir, man, we talked about it. We're waiting. So let's see if they can come back in here on Palantir, back down to the downside. I don't know. We're waiting at 12. So if 12 breaks, we're gone on this one. I'm not going to give it too much more room. If 12 breaks and we get out and then it rips up, that will be horrible for me, but that's what we're going to have to do. We're trying to protect that. NVIDIA is like, wow, so super violent. Let's put an offer at 57 here because I feel like this could spike up and take that out. 57 on NVIDIA. Actually, I'm going to hold this all day if I can. Scratch that thought. Right now, Fastly back down, trying to bounce off a little bit here. So maybe we'll just, it's bounced off this 60 a couple times. Let's put a bid at 60, take a piece out for 20 cents, and then if we can hold the rest, we'll just do that fastly.
And a quick look here at one of the names that we were all over, Upstart, testing the pre-market lows here. So look, I'm interested in this one on any kind of a dip. Sorry, not pre-market lows, pre-market support, I should say, at 153. Lows are down at that 150 level. So it's trying to make its first dip into support. I only want to be playing bounces on this. I didn't really favor the short. If it checks up here, as I'm saying it's going to chew through it. I only want to see it consolidate, try to bounce and catch it on the way up. So if we chew through a level, I'm going to hunt to the next level down. That's going to be the 150. I'm looking for a reload in Marin there, as it just came. We got some out in front of 380. Now it's coming right back, 420. That's going to be where the stop is going to be. So I got to be on the offer in front of 405, 410, somewhere in that range. We want to rinse and repeat and reload on that name. I did want to check in on Roblox. We talked about 63. Being a bit of a thing. You're running away, 53 being a bit of a thing. You're actually running away from that to the upside. So Roblox in the midst of a bit of a bounce. So waiting on NVIDIA. I want to get 251 only in front of 250. I'm trying to pick up some, well, and I'd love to be able to get a little bit of DoorDash, but I think that one's got away from us a little bit too much. And I'd like to get some Upstart if we can catch a dip.
Yep, down with all that. Okay, so yeah, we're down with that. Okay, let's go. NASDAQ, just making sure we have our right orders out here for some of these trades as we go here. So NVIDIA, guys, just didn't go there. I mean, now you're right back down. Like, we had thought that we could get this stock going today, but the NASDAQ, again, just not really, showing us as much love as we had thought. So this one goes to the downside. Check out Fastly. Let's go Fastly. Sometimes, guys, and again, we're sitting here, and as a show, we talk about some of our positions, what we're in, what we're trading, and things like that. But honestly, we could be losing on some of our longs and then winning on some of our shorts. It's kind of like the market in investing. You got to be somewhat diversified sometimes. So yeah, we're gonna watch out to see what happens here with Fastly. And there's a nice win, man. Short at 80, and now it just keeps going to the downside. I actually am gonna cancel my bid down here. Let's see how far this one can tank to the downside. And here we go. We're loaded up on Palantir now. We just got our 05.
Yeah, I just got into Fisker for the first time. As that bounced down to that 12.25 price, it then tests right immediately back up to 13. Sorry, 3/4.
Oh, I'm waiting at 70. Okay.
My bad. 1278 in front of 1275. 3/4, I should say. And then he gets them out in front of 13. The mistakes yesterday were not, when you're going counter trend, taking the scalp win and then just getting in and out as many times as you can. And that was a problem on Airbnb. On Upstart yesterday, I gave up $5 like twice. Then only to turn around and lose on the rest of the trade. So I want to make sure we're banking profit in this crazy open because we're only 5 minutes in here. So NVIDIA does come. Oh yeah, it actually flipped this time. NVIDIA does come down this time to 250, goes down to 250.28. Like I said, bank some profit, just got some out, 250, 250. So we'll ride this one to the upside. The reload on MRIN just came in, so I got a price of 02s now. Still, it's always going to be a 420 stop for me on that stock. And I mentioned wanting to be in some DoorDash, which is still on the New York last time I checked. Yeah, down at 110. So, okay, no short in front of 120. At this point, there's no pop to be shorted either, so got to look to where the support was going to be. You miss out on that. You miss out on the short trade. Got to look for that long. It's hit that 110 level. The channel you're looking at is about 106 to 110. So this top here, this channel, if we get into 106 to 110, which kind of means 108 or so, I think that's where the bounce could be. But I wanted the short. I obviously didn't get it because I was unwilling to take it in the pre-market. Right. If you don't compromise, sometimes you lose.
Yep, this is true. Okay, so your boy didn't get any out there. We were waiting for 253.50 again, and it goes right to 253. So let's go. Let's see if we can't get a bid out here, or some of our bids out on offers for NVIDIA. We are long, obviously, at 251.70. Just went in the money $1.50. I didn't take it. We're going to have to take it next time because, again, the NASDAQ, I don't know what the heck it's trying to do right now. So we'll have to watch out for that one. Fastly now, guys. Wow, what a good trade that was. And this is, again, on the sticky notes. So we go bang, bang for that one, as this is 75 cents in the money for Fastly, in the money for NVIDIA, and flat here on Palantir as we retest some of these bottoms. We were able to get something out there at 15. This was the real big, the much bigger position down here is why my average price is 10 on Palantir. So watch out for 12 breaking. What's up, Brendo?
One from earlier in the week. Roblox, guys, back to the upside once again, 4.5% here. Just took out monster print on this, worth noting first off, but just took out 56, which was this area from yesterday on the run again for Roblox.
Yeah,
it's
love
just
Roblox.
Strong move by Roblox. I mean, there was no chance to buy the dip. You didn't get it even if you wanted it bad. But Upstart trying to make another bottom. It didn't get to 150. After 153, I was looking for the 150 turn. You see it turn here off of 151, still trending back into the downside. So we might give us another chance at this in the short term. We want to be patient. The market is just barcoding back and forth here, so you don't want to be too hasty. You stick to the levels, you stick to the plans, and make sure that's what you're doing. When it comes to Fisker, we did take some out in front of 13. It's now testing that level lower. Go to the 15-minute chart so you can kind of see what we're working with here. This is your nice little target range. You had a 75 top, and you got a 50 bottom down here. So you're into the target range now where I think you want to make that bit of a bottom. I'll only reload on consolidation. I don't want to get too far out in front of it.
There it is.
And then, go ahead.
Oh, no. It's the same stock as you. It's
Oh, it is Fisker. Okay,
I got long. That's what I'm saying. There it is. I finally got long, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the other name we didn't talk about at all pre-market, at least I want to say, and is not doing anything, but watch out. If the market turns south, Tesla, I don't usually look at the 900 level, but today, that 900 level breaks, and you have a bit of a gap that could fill. So just be a little bit careful with Tesla. It's been pretty strong, but that top consolidation is under threat if 900 goes.
All right, so yeah, we'll go hells yeah. And again, guys, check out the sticky note for some of these trades that we're talking about right here. Fisker, right? 1250 support, 1270. We put that on the bid, 12.8. How about this, man? Fastly as well on the sticky note. Check it out at Trader TV Sean. Look at this. 70s out, 78s. Out some 87s. Let's rock and roll, guys. So far, so good here today. What's up, Brendo? One more time, dog.
Another one that's been crushed, guys. Matterport trying to get back to the upside here after earnings weren't good. Recent, at least, yeah, it might have been, it was actually all-time lows there after market yesterday, but back above this pre-market area for MTTR. Lots of volume here.
Oh, I remember I was looking at that one.
Yep,
okay,
that's
so
a good one.
Matterport here, this is another one I did actually write down, but after market, 710 to 725 here had a bit of a checkup. So even if it breaks 7 even, that sets up for one of those like failed break pullbacks. It gets through 7, can't really chew through the 20 to 25 area, and then you're looking for a bit of a failed break. So Matterport, put it on the radar. I mean, it was so far away from those levels this morning that I just didn't think we're going to get there. Now you're in that target range that it might be that failed breakout here on Matterport, so we'll take a look at it. DoorDash, it continues to be the one. This is the one I want to monitor closely. I just feel like there's so much opportunity here. It just went down to 109. Obviously, the short was good, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. It's in that pocket, that $4 pocket where we expect it could make its turn. Fisker
is a potty.
Yeah, it's got, like, there's a lot of volume in a lot of these names. Make sure you're trading something with volume, by the way. That's why I'm not on DWAC. But 108 is going to be that first level. If we can check up there on Dash, that's where I would go for the long. Obviously, the short was the better play.
I mean, my number one stock is going to be NVIDIA, but Fisker right now, nice, man. We just got out 94 off a 70 bid. So let's see if Fisker continue to ride. NVIDIA, man, out there, some at 53, so that's the double bang right there. Someone said the bang heard around the world. I mean, let's try to make bigger bangs because honestly, man, these are not, like, we need this, you know, I thought NVIDIA would fly. So, I mean, we're taking some off, and we're only taking it off so that we can reload it down here. So we are looking to reload Fisker down here right now. So I have on the bid right here. So if it comes down a little bit more, what am I even bidding? 80s. So, oh, wow, it went to 87 there. So we're bidding 80s. But anyways, let's watch out for this one. My disappointing stock, there it goes. I was going to say,
what?
The one stock that doesn't seem to want to do anything here is Palantir. It's SSR. So we got out of Palantir. That's going to be a negative stock for us today as it just keeps on cranking lower, lower, lower. But we kind of figured that would happen. So let's watch out for Palantir now. When the pressure is off, then we'll try to go long. But for right now, yeah, Palantir just keeps going southbound.
It does.
Was that Brendan?
I thought it was Brendan. No?
Nope. Okay.
Hey guys, some people on the chat talk about AMC. It's trying to break $20 level to the upside. Brendan?
Market back lower here, guys, on this headline. Russia saying it will be forced to respond, including by implementing military technical measures in the absence of the U.S. negotiating legally on its terms, guys. So that was the move back to the downside there for the market.
Yeah, so man. I mean, of course, SSR on Palantir. That was the issue.
Oh,
so
back up.
I hit 99s on the way down there. I didn't actually get it until it took a couple of, like, maybe not a minute, but like a couple of seconds, beats there to actually get hit on the offer. It then immediately retraces. So 12 looks like it's held. 1196 is the current low. This wick is a bit annoying here upside, but 1196 is the current bottom. So as long as it holds 95, 96, you could still have a bit of a fail break, jailbreak. That's now twice it's gone back and forth in visual form. This is still on Matterport for some reason. But as long as it continues to go back and forth here, like you've got the shorts that just hit that 99 short or 98 short that are starting to get at least a little bit jittery when you're down this much and it doesn't go. If we take out 05, the play for me is going to be long through that break, stop to the 95, so 10 cents in slippage worth of risk with the notion that you might have trapped some shorts down here. This is a level I wanted to play off of. Fisker, by the way, continuing when it's above 13. I'm going to take next leg out there, but yeah, if this is a fail break on Palantir, it's too good not to want to jump in. So 12.05, I'll look to go long with a 10-cent stop. It looks like it could be a fail break.
Man, thanks for the Fisker shout out there. I didn't even notice that. Wow, nicely moved. I was watching NVIDIA there because, oops, bang again. We did it again. Shout out to Britney Spears because there it is, man. Another reload as stated, guys. That's where we were going to reload it at 250.80. I gave the exact price. That's exactly where we got it. And then we're out in the same minute, $1 later for upside surprise. Surprise there for NVIDIA. Nice move there. Fastly 50 cents in the money. Fisker 40 cents in the money and still rocking, man. We have Fisker, we have 30% left, so that's a nice, hey, for me, that's great. Nice move to the upside. We're going to wait for Palantir. Unfortunately, it does flush us down. We got a good price, though. I think we got 12 evens or 99s or something there on that flush down for Palantir. We actually got some 99s, some 98s, so not as great as I thought. But anyways, that's a good move there for me. We're going to reload again, if you didn't guess that, on NVIDIA today. AMC, thank you, Ms. V, for that one. This is on my radar today, but unfortunately, it just took off. I wanted this 19 bid. It's on the sticky note as well. 1850 was the support, so that was something that we looked at. Okay, here we go, Palantir. What do you want to do? We are long now 05 on Palantir, guys, with a good position, so let's see where we go from here.
Yeah, so remember we said, like, that failed break to the downside. If 5 goes again, you're going to take 5s long, or the break of 5s long, and then work it to the upside and give it to the low of the day, which is actually 11.96. So if you're risking only 10 cents, some of this is going to be a scalp out. I'm only taking this to about 12.4, 12.5. Like, this is a very specific setup, and the sentiment is still to the downside. That hasn't actually changed here on Palantir. The might be NVIDIA. At least it is. I mean, Palantir now is bouncing a little bit, is not the NVIDIA, 250. Load. 250 about to break here in NVIDIA. I'm giving it to about 249.65. Just pennies around there. Because I don't want it to be a failed break that I get wicked out on. This chart's about to crash, so I guess I can't show it to you in real time. But it's battling that 250 level right now on NVIDIA.
Yep, there it is, and there it goes. Yep, so we're out of NVIDIA. See you later, alligator, on that one. But that's why, man, that's why you bang those profits out as much as you can when they're there. You want to talk about banging something out. Fastly, let's go, baby. Fastly now $1 in the money on the short side, so that's a good trade for me. We're making some money back here on PLTR, so I have to let NVIDIA fly now to the downside because honestly, I don't really have any idea about what the hell is going on with that name. But I do have an idea that we want to get something out on Palantir here because, again, told you upsize position on that 12.05 break. It's nice when Neil and I had the same ideas there, so that's why it's good when we have them. But now here comes the fail. We only got out of 30% of Palantir on that move up. So I only got out of 30% at 10s and 11s. So let's see if we can continue to move up there. We can make this money back on Palantir. But I am going to hold this for the low break of 95. That's an area of concern, obviously, here for that name. Fisker, still 27 cents in the money and going. We are going to watch. I have just so you guys know, I do have AMC on the mind. So let's wait to see if this can come back into this area, 1960 or so. We'll see if we can take that and then hold 1935, this bottom. So let's get ready to load up some of this trade as well, AMC.
So I'm now into Dash for the first time, so waited very patiently. It got into that cluster 110 to 106, and then I took it when it bounced at 108. This is NVIDIA. I wanted to quickly show you guys. We did scalp some out, and then we're just going to take it out at 250. And my concern with NVIDIA was if it, off of that 270 level, if it breaks 250, there's just so much room to test the bottom. And I wish, look, obviously I wish I could say that I liked it to the short side. I just didn't, so I'm not going to have it, unfortunately. Dash is a new one that we got into here. And again, and sort of miss out on the short opportunity, ask yourself what's going to be next. And for me, that was just into this little cluster up here in front of previous resistance, right in the middle of this little chop. So 108 is the long. I'll give it $2. But if it bounces, I think we can get back to the 112 to 114 area. That's $4 to $6. The risk to reward's going to work. I don't think I'll make the same mistake on Palantir. I'm like you, Sean. I didn't really get out too much in front of 15. So, it's a 6 long, and if we're risking 10 cents, I'm going to take a few more shares out in front of 12.15 here, and then try to work at 25s, 20s, 25s, 30, 35. How it works. Every 5 cents on a $20 stock or $12 stock like this. And I'm used to saying $20 stock there. So those are the positions we have on. I have all longs now because Marin, that broke that 420. So it was great off of the open. The reload got taken out. That's me making the top wick. I won't revisit this unless we get a consolidation up here. So it's in, we take some profit, we go back in, it breaks our stop, we get out. No need to rush back into the trade. It's going to do plenty of volume. Definitely going to be able to trade this again throughout the day. Brennan?
Another big mover so far on earnings. AppLovin, back to the upside here. Just took out pre-market highs, or tested it anyways. Huge volume came in there at 58. Trying to get back higher for APP.
Oh, I got to fix this one. I didn't get this one candle fixed here, unfortunately, on Palantir. I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, we just got some more out there when it ripped up to 12s and 13s and 11s. So I'm going to try to hold. I have a big position, so I will be scalping out a little more than maybe even I want to do. But we'll just see where we go on that one. So Palantir right now, I like it, obviously, and I'm going to try to hold as much as I can for the high side on PLTR. So that's what I'm waiting for now. Just double checking in on NVIDIA, because NVIDIA right now 249. Like, I don't really. Good out there. I mean, I love that out. I mean, when you're taking outs of this, magnitude, 250, 80, we're out at we actually got the 240, 50. Like, that break we got was great. I mean, there was a lot of liquidity there. We actually got like probably 249.99 or something, it looks like. But you could see, look, this is why we're not holding on to stuff, man. Like, this continues to crash lower. I don't understand why AMD is down 6%, but hey, if you look at the market, it's leading the way and it's going to continue to do that. That's why you have to have shorts on board, right? I mean, here's Fastly, beautiful short, down $1 now in the money. We have that one. We have a baby long here, not baby anymore, but long in Palantir, which is at these baby levels. I'm expecting this thing to take off. I mean, I'm looking at 12.20. The next offer I have is at 16, so hopefully we can blow it to the high side a little bit and then really take off here on Palantir. If the market goes up, this is the name I want. I don't want NVIDIA anymore. I don't want anything. Palantir is actually holding at a key level, $12. So until I can find another one on some of these other levels, another one, bang!
Fisker's the hold.
Look at Fisker, guys. Fisker, a #1 name on the sticky note here. That's working like gangbusters today. Fisker up 56 cents here on this trade. Let's take out another piece. Why not, Brendo?
Bit of a trend, guys, for these earnings names. Here goes QS, red to green as well, straight to the upside since the open for QuantumScape.
So, QuantumScape, that's another one that, look, there's so many things moving today. You had to pick your spots.
This is
Fisker,
nuts,
right up to
honestly.
1330, but look at it at the open. In the pre-market. This is a bit of a chop range that I might have some trouble with. I don't want to give this all up on Fisker. If it's going to make a breakout, there might be a consolidation break to be had. So, pretty key test here for Fisker. But when it's the stock working the best in a down market, you do not want to give it up. Same thing with Dash, right? Like, the market's continuing to flush, and DoorDash is holding really nicely off of that 108 area. So it tests 106, the bottom of the range, and now you're seeing it trying to get back to the upside. So I will take some out. Like I said, I think 112, 114 is ultimately where it can go, but I do want to get some at 1-to-1 at that 108 level. So I'm on the offer in front of in front of 110 on Dash. See if we can take a quick couple of dollars, and then we'll try to work the $4 to $6 on the rest of it. Upstart's still in a little bit of a downward trend.
Look at the market.
As the market continues to flush. So like, it hasn't shown any, like, there's been one consolidation. Yeah, there's been one consolidation down here, and the market continues to fall. So if you've got a long that's working, it's like, okay, that's great. But you got to pick your spots in some of the rest of these names, because it's starting to get very ugly here. And when I think ugly and the market going down, I ask myself, what was the number? What is the number? Self?
Yeah, you got to say self.
What number did you give on? What number did you say on a firm?
Yep.
It's my lucky number. It is my number in baseball for like 20 years. It is the level I traded yesterday. It's 42 on a firm, and what do I not have on a firm? And it's 42. So anyways, a firm has now broken that 42 level. I hope somebody is short this name, because I most certainly am not today. At least somehow a market's going down. I'm long Dash in the money. I'm long Palantir, which I never trade in the money, and Fisker in the money to the long side. It is a bizarre world as far as I'm concerned.
Nah, Palantir's always a long. Come on.
Yeah, but I have no shorts.
No,
the
I'm just
first
playing around
time
with you. I mean,
I have
Palantir's
not.
short.
I can't think of a day in the last year that at 10 o'clock I didn't have a single short and the market's tanking. This is weird.
Oh, hell yeah, for Palantir. Bang on that one, as we call that 12 bottom. And unfortunately, we did get out, but we reloaded back up. So really, I just sacrificed here 7 cents on this because we got out and then we took just as many shares as we had on this averaged in price again. And now we're just rocking to the upside. Let's go, Palantir. I said if this market turns around, this is a very dangerous name. So watch out for PLTR as it's starting to go, and it's starting to go nicely for us. Excellent, Palantir.
Oh, I'm only hitting this key over and over again.
12.15. We talked about that bottom. Look at Facebook is up as well. Yeah, that's Team Canada there. But there goes Palantir. Touch 25 there, guys. That's VWAP. Let's take a piece out. Why not?
Yeah, look, take your profits because that's one lesson I've learned. This market is falling, and if the longs are working, how long is that going to last if we continue to make fresh bottoms? We're at the overnight, yesterday's low. I almost said overnight. No, yesterday's low is about to get tested on the NASDAQ down 1.5. DoorDash goes to 110, so I banked a profit. You had to wait for price target area. My mistake yesterday on Upstart was just getting in at the front end of a range. And if I like 106, to 110, it's like let it go into that price range and let the stock determine where it makes a bottom. Screw any of that other nonsense. Like it actually makes this bottom here just shy of 106, and then I'm getting in. Instead of just jumping in front of the level, which I did in Upstart, and Airbnb was Airbnb yesterday that we did that. No, be a little bit more patient. I think now if the market can rally, no way Dash can't get back to at least like a 111, 112. Clearly, we didn't have the real position we should have, which is the short off of 120. But you got to be able to put that in the rearview mirror and just move on. You're gonna trade what the market gives you, and the market went down and didn't give me the shorts that I wanted. It somehow managed to give me all the longs I did. Fisker is still trying to test that breakout at 1330. I want this one because it's breaking into a new range on the daily. You want to be holding this. Wow. 50 periods up at 1450. I think this could really go. And Palantir finally broken those quarters. Let's go 1240.
Yeah, buddy, right now. As Palantir continues to go to the upside, man. Yeah, we made back a lot of this, so we're really happy with that one. A shout out to Super SPAC Man. What's up, Super SPAC Man? There as we go long right now on Softy. Thanks for pointing that out. We were waiting at 294.20 for this, but he's like, hey, dude, Microsoft's getting close to 294 again. And I was like, I'm down. So here it is, man. A nice little long through 53s. We're waiting near 295, to get out. I mean, if it goes back up to the upside, we'll take a little, not all of it. We'll take half of this out in case we do have the bottom here. Come on, a couple more pennies, man. We're in the 80s here. Let's go. A couple more pennies. Oh, we just got missed by 3 pennies there. So if you were watching, there it is, 87s. Bang. Another one. Oh my God, Ms. V, because this one's starting to go to the upside, man. We're on one again today. The only misstep was Palantir early. Other than that, man, we're pretty happy. NVIDIA's a flat trade for me today. Fisker's an absolute monster for me today. What else to talk about, man? Fastly's a monster. So it's been a good day today, for sure. But that Fastly bottom, we should have understood that and maybe got that out at 1960. We did talk about that on the pre-show, that the bottom was actually 1960. It comes right down to it, and I'm sitting here watching Palantir and all this kind of stuff, but we're already out of 2/3. So yeah, if we break above this area, the thing is, I'm going to actually hold on to Fastly a little bit. I'm okay having this come all the way back and actually turning into a loser for me. We've already hit that. I'm going to put a bid back down here. I don't believe in this, so we'll wait to see. 1980, put the bid right there. Softy, 30 cents in the money. Fisker, 70 cents in the money. Fastly, 70 cents in the money. Palantir, 20 cents in the money. Your boy is on one.
And just to go back to Palantir for a second, that 12 level, the next level up, if you look on the 15-minute, that was actually here at 1240. That's why I randomly was sort of throwing that number out there. VWAP, who cares? But the next profit target for me is going to be in front of that 40, and then probably every 10 cents from there. I don't know if it's going to ever turn into a short on this stock just because that 14 to 14.20 level was the big one. Dash is starting to really break back out here, so now we're through 10. We're up to VWAP at 111. The target's the top end of this cluster here on the way down, and that's about 113. So if we can grab about $5 on the last of that trade, we'll be perfectly happy to get it. It's not just Fisker making moves, rightfully pointed out in the chat many times here. I'll load up here. Rivian also making power moves, breaking out. It's back at $70. So it just made a double top at 70. Just alert to that 70 level. This is what it looks like on the daily. There's a couple of failed breaks recently at 70 even. You can see that here. And it's run away from that price. So this is what we're looking at. I think 71.5, that's that recent top. So if you got that long, not a horrible place to be taking some profit there as you have this like 71 double top. If you're looking to short it, I don't think you touch it at 70 even. That's your level to dig in. Like you want risk to reward, you should be shorting it off 71.5, to me, not 70 even.
Oh, man. We're just, like I said, man, we were loaded up down there, so we'll go another banger right here. And actually, we'll do our favorite one, as far as I know anyways, this one. Spin it, because, yeah, this is what we're doing right now. 32 cents, 33 cents now in the money on Palantir and still motoring to the high side. And I'm just taking pieces out as we go, man. Like, here comes, I'm at 44 now again, so we'll see if it even wants to take that out as the market now rally mode right here off these bottoms. I mean, we're not anywhere near rally mode, but look what number we're bouncing off of. 14,400 again. So let's wait to see if it holds that. We've given you that number numerous times. Let's just see if it holds. Fisker rocking, man. We're 70 cents in the money on that. And Palantir just touched 45 and retraced a little bit. Maybe that's an area that we should have thought about getting a little bit more out there. We only have now about 25% of this bottom trade in. So yeah, I just wish it didn't dance around as much at 11 and 12 there, because this is the thought that we had with these guys going back up to the upside now. There's a lot of size being thrown around everywhere on this name. Like there's a 200 gone. There was just a 600 a second ago gone. We're going to see if we can get out here on the offer a little bit. But right now, there it is, a little bit of an out. We'll see if 41 takes. But yeah, I'm waiting. Good thing we took a piece out there at 41. Still moving. Microsoft, 45 cents in the money. We'll see. Yesterday, we had this exact bottom before it ripped. Look at Microsoft yesterday. We had, let's see if I can zoom back in a little bit. We had these bottoms at 294, end of the day at 300. So let's see if it goes back upside one more time. Softy, here we go. 40, 50 cents in the money on that one. And yeah, we're just cruising, waiting for some more fills. Maybe AMD needs to get checked on.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, okay, the longs are starting to work. The market's trying to bounce a little bit here. I'm just going to make sure we're managing the positions, obviously. And then, I'm not really taking anything out on Palantir. I've gotten everything out that isn't a hold for the entire day in front of 12 even kind of thing. And DWAC, I just paid for shorts because it's like, how many times am I going to look at this at 87 and not even try it? It just goes to 86.90 and drops $3 or $2.50. It just went up to 86.70 and gave you a VWAP retrace. It's going to go there a third time. I'll probably try it and then be reversed like immediately. But I can't look at that level and watch it bounce off that level over and over again and not try to trade this. So I did just pay for the locates. Upstart is the other name, which we said do not ignore Upstart. It's finally trying to make a consolidation. So look, it's rolled over already. You've already broken the bottom. Now you're looking at 147, which is trying to hold on the bid. And that's not that far down. Like, remember, this stock was $100 before earnings. So there's a lot of room to come in, and the next support level's down at 142. So a heck of a lot can still happen on Upstart. It just went negative on the day. It's already 10 o'clock. Let's go to the big screen. Brendan is ready to tell us what's happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, red board to show you this morning continues to be pretty negative here. 1.3 for the S&P, about 0.9 for the Dow there leading the way. The NASDAQ 1.35 in negative territory for Canadian stocks, 0.5%, 0.57 in fact for the TSX. Some of the mining sector getting hurt today a little bit. Further along, crude oil, yeah, back to the downside, 1.7 today. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum extending moves as well into negative territory. A few things of note that we were talking about if you joined us in the pre-market. DoorDash, one of those, up significantly on better than expected report from them. Upstart continues as well its move over the past 2 days following a decent earnings report from Upstart. And Tesla back to the downside if you missed it. Yeah, 416,000 vehicles being investigated for that brake issue for Tesla. Guys, back over to you.
Position alert right now, AMC. We take it off 1950 there. We're waiting in the 70s now. We take a quick, I mean, this was in 1 minute. We took 10 cents. So we'll wait to see if it can fly in. We're offering in the 70s again as well. So again, all we're trying to do right now, guys, is stack up said cash because, it's been a little bit of a turbulent morning, but so far so good, man. We're only going to be negative on no stocks, actually. NVIDIA, we are negative on NVIDIA, but it's nothing. We'll wait to see here what AMC does here moving forward. So I can't believe we're trading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks here. And we've been able to pull out money on these. So yeah, Funny day today, but let's see if it goes. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, spin it for Microsoft one more time. This is what we're doing one more time again. Look at this Microsoft trade. Buy, these 294.50s, bang to the upside, another 50 cents. So back to back, 30 cents. Out 87, out 85. So back to back 30-cent winners there on Microsoft. And again, we're just holding these on now. We can see if we can retrace back up to the upside, take a little bit out on Palantir as we got nervous as it retested there. And now hopefully we just climb to the high side again. I have shares on, so I got to take them out. But Palantir, another positive name for us today. Just wish we didn't have that blemish, but if I don't have that, then I don't have this. So we give up 5 cents on the bottom side. Palantir still rocking and rolling. There goes AMC. Yes, sir, again. Up to 73 and out there on AMC. So ho-hum, there's another 20 cents on that one. Let's see how high it can go from here. I'm looking at this 20 as a target.
Yeah, just going to watch this go here. I got to cancel this bid. That's the first thing I always do. If it goes too far away, I wanted 54.5. It dipped to 55. You're now up 57. That's entirely too far. And now we have a bit of a top here on DoorDash. Got to be able to watch out for this one here. You're going to see it break VWAP, but that cluster, this is the top. I'm getting a little bit greedy by having my offer at the top of this range. If it turns at 112, that means it's going to be a 4 and change winner instead of $5, and we want to make sure we lock that in. We're counter trend here. Got to lock in profits, and always have to get over to Miss V.
Hey guys, likes update. We now have 1,600 likes. So team, please smash the like button right now and help us get 2,000 likes ASAP. And meanwhile, we have a super chat from Mark Butt. Applied materials down by 3.26%. So guys, maybe we can take a look at AMAT.
I'm going to look at that one in a quick second. Look, here, and this is the thing. We talked about NVIDIA coming down on a good report. There was nothing to dislike about AMAT's report, but it doesn't matter in this market when everyone's getting skittish. When they're going to sell, they're going to sell. Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry, there we go. Just got out of DoorDash trade. Had to get out of that trade first. We'll do a slap shot because the big winners will put it on like a gold medal trade.
Oh,
that should be Team Canada, but we just got that 112. It was a bit of a seller that just kept jumping in there at 112, and I said that's the area I wanted to be able to get out. But you're asking about AMAT, and the reality is there's nothing bad about the report. It's just selling that came in off of that open for some profit taking, and the chip names are under pressure because you're not growing enough. The good news is you have ridiculously good support down here, 125 to 130. So I do think it's got a bit of a floor. Not worth trading because it's nowhere near that floor. And as you said, Palantir, Sean, it's just broken 1250, which means next level of profit taking is starting to come through.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're super happy. It's a chicken dinner winner for Palantir. It's going to rocket up my board to be my #1 stock here as it is gone, man. We talked about that. I said Palantir goes when this market finally goes, and that 12 level, man, it doesn't get any better than that. And if you are on the Sticky Note Nation, which I'm sure you are an official member, please retweet it. If you are on Twitter right now, look at this. Palantir, buy 12, buy the $12 level. You're now 50 cents in the money. It would have gone against you 5 cents. 10 to 1 risk to reward off the sticky note right there as AMC is now 30 cents in the money. We'll put the sticky note up. Please, guys, like it. Come over. Follow me. Let's go, man. 30,000 followers right now, approaching 30,000 followers on Twitter. So we'll keep that party going for you as well over there. But let's go over to Brendan. What you got, homie?
A little tiny low float stock just popping up, guys. WNW on the NASDAQ. Ripped up through 3 there. It's coming back down, but 6 million shares on this one, guys. 6.7 million shares on WNW.
WNW, I don't even know what that stock is. So you got to watch it. Actually, I saw people talking about waste management this morning. So there's a few interesting names that I wanted to check in on, but there was so much moving that I don't want to get too far away from them. So this is going to be Palantir. Once you have that 60, which just got taken out, you're really backing away. So instead of every 5 to 10 cents, now you're starting to think 15 to 20 pennies, and then up to that $13 area off of that 12 even break. And remember, there's nothing better than a false break. It works the same way. Like when you're shorting off the top and you get a fail break at a high, it's the same thing in the other direction, right? Like with a fail break to the bottom, it couldn't take out 95. Once it reversed and took out 1205, that's your key entry point. And we love that setup. Fisker is now breaking out of the high of the day. So to me, like you're on a multi-day breakout in the stock. I don't see anything until the 50 period. That's at like $14.60. That's $1 away from here. So this might just turn into an all-day type of hold. And speaking of the stock's making bottoms. Upstart now making a power move off the bottom into 152. This one feels like if it gets back towards those highs, it almost has to be shorted. We'll see. I mean, the market's not that strong. If you see Upstart at like 156, 157, after the wick top and put in at the open, I'd be surprised if we didn't get a shot at a rollover trade there. And I said DWAC would be in play. It just made a break of that 87. So I decided against my better judgment, I didn't intend on going short. I'm like, oh no, with 1-2, never take it the third time. I don't do it. 88, I still think has to be broken. Every time it's tested 87, it's gone up a little bit and then it's failed. And then 88 has been that true level it couldn't get past. So I'm holding out and taking a breakout long till it's actually 88. We said the day it goes, look at the gap. You got to at least take a shot at it. So I'm going to wait for 88 here just for some more confirmation.
No better day to have a fruit salad kind of a day than today because we are just crushing the game right now. Cheers to everybody. Today's fruit salad brought to you by the tastiest fruit in here, blueberries. So we'll have a piece of cantaloupe in a minute, but it's a fruit salad kind of day for sure today. Yeah, 55 cents. Everything we have is working like crazy. Fisker, man, we put that note in our sticky note again to buy these bottoms down here. I mean, we have the lowest tick of the day. 12.70 right here, all the way to the upside, up to $1 now upside for Fisker. So yeah, hell yeah, we're pretty happy with that one. We did let Fastly, and we didn't respect the bottom here in Fastly. So yeah, maybe it does want to take off a little bit. I did put a bid here at 30. As it's coming back in right here. Maybe we'll touch that down, but I don't know. If we can get a bid at 30, we'll just take it here on Fastly and end that trade for, again, another big one for us there. AMC, ho-hum, all the way to 20 again. We said we'd get out. Maybe we should. AMC rocking and rolling right now, all the way up to 20. We could just get out of this right now if we can here at 90. Where did I put that offer there on AMC? Okay, 1870, we have a bid. Let's just get out of AMC now. There it is. Nice run up. We offered 89 there and got out. So again, another one, guys. Like, wow, we're just, no matter what the People's Trader trades today, man, it's been a good one. Only one misstep, and it is a small one. And it is NVIDIA because, look, in, and then out. That's the only blemish on today's record. It's been a monster day, guys. So, I mean, I hope you guys are doing well as well. But so far, so good, man. Sticky Note Nation, stand up.
There goes DWAC. DWAC finally actually breaking 88. So this is the most extension it's actually had off of these levels in a while. I think I want to give it at least some room. You have a consolidation. It's hard to see on the 1 minute. There was a consolidation, at least a little bit, when it broke back below, I guess it was like 87.70, that high. Some consolidation about 87.25. So I think that's where the support is going to be. The first out isn't until 90 for me. So I want to make sure I'm taking some profit in front of 90 even. After that, we've been talking about this gap for a while, and it's, I mean, I don't know. Like, it could stop 91, 92. It could stop at 96, 97. Who knows? But we got to open this one up a little bit here on DWAC now that it's finally taken out that 88.
Yeah, every day I have 86 long except for today, and it works. And we knew that was going to happen at some point, so good trade there. Let's see if it does work out. Let's just look back at Palantir here. Good outs, man. I was just taking it out all the way up. And like when I had a lot of shares, so I was taking it out like every 3, 4, 5 cents on the way up. 12.65 right there. That's my best out. That's pretty much the high of the move and the high of the day. So 12.65 right there. We take a piece out. Now we'll watch to see where Palantir goes from here. So far, so good. That reminds me, let's go so far, so good. SoFi, so good. Let's have a quick look on SoFi right now, a name that a lot of you are trading. You like it. 8 million, almost 10 million shares today on SoFi. Beautiful move to the upside. Again, that 12.50. We're always going to have a look at that. That's come in, actually not even 12.50. Sorry, it's more like 12. But actually, in here's fine, 12.30, 12.40, 12.50 for SoFi. So that's something to look at if it does pull back in. These highs, again, were respected once again today. 13.20s or so. Topped out again, and maybe topped out today at 13.20. So that's something to look for on SoFi. We're still 50 cents in the money on Microsoft. That's been a great trade for us today. Just bottom picked that a couple times. If you ever see me, if you ever see me into Microsoft, it generally works out, man. There it is. And I just got to remember that and start just upping the share size when we start trading Mr. Softy, because a nice move back up to the upside for this name, and it's still rocking and rolling. So we're long we're long Microsoft at 52, and it's at 13 the other side. So good trade right now, 65 cents in the money on Mr. Softy. And that's about it, man. just letting Palantir settle down. But again, guys, we have like 4% left. We have 4% left of this trade, so it's not going to be a big one, but we're happy with the way it's performed.
Hey guys, don't forget Rivian. I know we're looking at Fisker here today, and that's, look, Fisker reported, but Rivian broke that 70. We talked about why you wanted to be looking, if you're shorting it or looking to take profit, why you want to be looking at 71.5. That's this double top here. It's approaching that range. I, of course, always forget because I don't understand why we don't usually get free locates on this, but as it approaches 71.50, I do want to take a shot at this short in front of that level and that level only. So I'm going to pay for my locates. That's what we're looking for. And I wouldn't normally be scalping DWAC out here. Don't get me wrong. When it goes a breakout trade, $1, sure. But I've been waiting for that break and just think it's got a bigger range that it could pit in. So I'm more patient with it. I've got to be willing to risk $1 and then not even taking anything out till it goes $1.50 minimum. But the next one is going to be my first shot at Rivian. It's got a 71 offer that has some size on it. Because I like 71.50, I can allow that level to break and then look for an entry between 71 and 71.50 on a turn, or reclaiming 71 down with a 71.50 stop. So that's the level I'm keying in on. It's right up here. You got a parabolic move and then other consolidation breaks. So you have some other longs that are above 70. Lots of reasons why the risk to reward is going to work out here.
Let's try maybe a break here on AMC to the high side. We already hit AMC beautiful down here at 1955, man. I mean, and what's up to Ape Nation, man? We hit it for you. We're here with you. AMC up to $20. Let's just see where we go. Market is coming back in a little bit, so we're going to have to watch out for that trade. I still want to hold on to the Microsoft. I was looking at something else, though. I guess it was AMC right there, trying to take that out. Walmart with a nice report today for sure. Let's just check in on Walmart. It wasn't on my sticky note, of course. 137. I think that's still a positive trade. Yeah, 2.6%. There goes AMC. Let's see if it goes now. All right, so we're long now at 01s. We'll just see, or actually 02s. Let's see where we go. We're bouncing around here. Not the same share sizes down here because this is a break happening in a negative market. So let's wait to see what AMC does. Still getting nervous. If we take down this VWAP back to the downside, we have 1975 as a target out if we're wrong. So 1975 as an out and a reload possibility down here at 1985 for AMC. But it's been a top stock for me today. Let's see if we can keep the party going. Fisker $1 in the money, Microsoft 70 cents in the money, Palantir 40 cents in the money, and now AMC a dime piece in the money as we start to go up on AMC. Let's go, baby. Is there a level, though, for AMC that we can look off of here just quickly? That's 2050. Perfect. So that we have an area of concern there. So we're going to put an offer near that 2050 mark, probably 2025, actually. Take out a piece for a quarter and then just stack that cash on AMC. Brendan?
More buy the dip action, guys, for another earnings names. Trip here back to the upside again this morning, along with a lot of these that we've seen so far today. This would be red to green up here where we ended the day yesterday. Earnings not great for Trip, but nice looking chart here.
Yeah, I'll do this one for DWAC. So play that level, looking for it to finally give the big move. I'm not going to flip the chart because Rivian trade's on right now at 71, but tried to make that move for a bigger breakout. Waited all like 2 weeks for that break, and when it comes, I'm going to try to hold for more. It's not going to be a scalp trade, so got to be willing to lose a bit more on that one and give it some more room. Rivian, that just had that little push up through 71. It got to 71.46 here. You're going to see my order at 72. That's the limit price. My stop is actually at 71.50. If I put the price in, how far I'm crossing up, then it's going to show that as displayed in my order log. So it's 71.50. That's the big level, and that's where the stop. It just turned off of that. I'll get some out in front of 70. The rest of the retrace would be down in front of VWAP. So that's a relatively standard entry. The only thing different was I didn't like the 70 level. Went to the 15-minute to show you the double top at 71.50, and that was going to be key. Now that that's calmed down a little bit and stops are in, I'll show you DWAC, right? Just giving it some more room on that break. If it goes from here, fine, it can go without me. I just wanted to make sure that we gave this one a better chance here to make that run. But I'm not holding it $4 or $5 against me. Not going to happen, not in DWAC. I never believe in a long enough to just sit there going long over and over again in DWAC. I'm going to have an entry, and I have to have an idea of where I'm wrong. Just coming back over to Palantir, this stock, it's starting to slow down a little bit, and much like I guess like it's not like Rivian, it's not like Fisker. Fisker's breaking out a new range. We have no idea where you can take it out. Here you actually have some levels to work off of. You've got 1280, recent support level that I think could be a bit of a top. You're having a curl at this consolidation, and I'm showing you the 15 minutes so you can see a bit better. At about 1260. So if we run into all kinds of trouble and then just start going sideways off this level, I would maybe consider taking another leg out. Until that happens, we can just be patient with the trade. It's running in the money. Fisker is a little bit more safe because you're truly breaking out. This is post-market action. So truly, on the daily chart, you're in clean breakout territory in Fisker until you get to 1450 on the daily chart. And even then, you're just talking about the 50 period, which is a psychological barrier at best.
Yeah, we're so we just got into more Microsoft. So we got out of our Microsoft there, and we just got into more. And I went over to try to cancel the order because the market is going to the downside. So we don't want this Microsoft trade right now. Like, we don't mind it when the market's rallying like crazy. But if I can just get out of this, as we are now, basically out of it. So now I have an appropriate amount of shares. Like, I don't want to. Again, we got in and we got out above where we're in. So there's no problem with this. But Microsoft again, very, very slippery slope here, especially with the market coming in now. So let's just be careful with this softy trade. We're only going to give it to 294. If 294 breaks, then we're going to be gone. We didn't mean to take as many shares as we did there, so that's why you're going to see me get out like rapidly there when we got those in, because again, not a mistake. We meant to be there, but it's just the market coming back in. So we're not going to sit here and just defend these levels over and over again just because it's a stock that we like. Actually, even that I'm talking about that, let's get another piece out right now for flat. That was a 6-cent hit. So yeah, here it comes right back down. So a 294 break, man, we're going to be gone on Microsoft. So just watch out for that. The market is coming back in. And then Neil just talked about Palantir, and that's perfect. Look at that. That's our next piece out. Nothing to hit. We've already made the money on this. Now we have 2% left of our position. So we'll hold on to it, see if it floats back down in. Palantir again today, man. A great trading opportunity. Too many outs right here as we were wondering if we were going to break back above this 1210. It kept coming back. We could have had multiple reloads. But then when it finally took off through 10, then the upside was obviously what we're all celebrating. So that's so far so good on that one. Fisker's $1 in the money. And other than that, AMC right now has flowed back in to these levels. So AMC going to get out if we break through 1975. So just an update right there with 40 minutes left in our show. We got to go over to the big screen with a small cap recap. BKKT.
Back.
You've been wondering about that. Brennan's got it for you right now.
Rolling back over, in fact, with the overall market here for back to the downside. This 750 support from the pre-market gave you a nice move down to 650 before the market even opened this morning. Ends up being the easiest trade anyways. Did give you a quick little fade again at the open. It bounced back up into 7 where VWAP was at the time. That ends up being a quick little scalp. And now we're rolling over once again, but volume drying up on BKKT. This one more of a mid cap, I think. For GLBE, but this was an earnings name aftermarket yesterday. Very, very strong initially. There was an offer that showed up there at 45.75. Someone was selling some shares. We're back below that now, but right here, there was an offer that showed up at 45.75 that got me in initially short. As soon as they pulled that, I flipped long, and that gave you $1.50 on the long, but now we're back below that. So I'm short again versus 45.75 on GLBE. Quickly, MRIN has been pretty boring so far. 390 up to 420, stuck in a 30-cent range. Back and forth, guys. Back over to you.
What was that number again? I know. MRIN got me at 420 as well. Like, it was a good trade, the pre-market hold. He took the profit, reload, and it absolutely stunk. I see you, ISPO, and apparently it's a SPAC.
Yep.
It's halted to the upside, and this is all true. It closed at $12 yesterday and change. It just halted to the upside at $31.46. With a theoretical auction price, meaning an indicated reopen, of $36. I just double checked. We actually don't have locates for this. I'm going to continue to check because if this thing goes to like $50, there is always a level at which the risk reward, low liquidity or not, is going to be there. So like I said, I have no locates on it right now, but we'll get to it if we get a chance. I mean, it's open up probably in 5 minutes, so we do have a couple of minutes till that happens. I just adjusted my stop because I got the first out on Rivian, so I guess we should celebrate that one. We did not. Missed the boat on Rivian.
Nope.
We missed it on DoorDash to the short side. We caught the long, but we're not going to miss that Rivian 71.50. If it goes to VWAP, great. If it doesn't, this now can't turn into a losing trade. My bid will be in front of 69, which also happens to be VWAP. So there you go. Just going to get my bid in on Rivian just to make sure we can take that profit. As you mentioned already, Palantir making a bit of a turn. The other one making a bit of a turn was Fisker. That's the name.
Yep.
Got to $14 or close to $14, pulling back. But guess what? Still above pre-market highs. If it's holding each breakout level as support, then it's still in a great upward trend here. And like I said, it's got air till 14.50, and even that's just the 50 period.
Air up there. We did get wiped clean there as it breaks 75, but then it wicks down to 73. So we went back long there because it didn't continue down. So we went back long. We taken out at 84. Therefore, we're long. What are we long? 79? We're long 79 change. I don't know what it shows on there, but let's just call it 80, so it doesn't matter. We're long 80 there. We just took 4 cents. It's not a big win. Obviously, we're waiting for 20 again here on AMC, and we'll see if that comes through for us on that one. Okay, Roblox. Roblox goes all the way up and now coming all the way down. So this is a name here that I think we're interested in right down here at this 55 level for Roblox. So let's take a bid down here and see where we go. What's up, Brendo?
See any other filings today on Rivian, but remember we had Soros, we had Dan Loeb's third point in on Rivian going back to earlier in this week, but a nice move here, 6.7% for Rivian. Maybe catching some Fisker love as well, guys.
I'm going to assume yes. I mean, look, obviously it's been on its run anyways recently, Rivian. But you look at the other end of the coin, and we're sort of throwing some concern at Tesla here today. It's at 900. So pick out your relative strength and weakness in the EV space today. It's going to be Fisker and it's going to be Rivian. I didn't check in on Lucid just yet, but you got to pick your spots here. But Tesla testing 900. That ISPO, like I said, it's going to open up pretty soon. Maybe in like a minute or two, indicating a more reasonable $31.60 here. So basically flat. It's not going to open at 36. We did get that first out on Rivian. It's now bouncing, or at least attempting to bounce. But guess what? It can't seem to get back past 71 where our entry is. Like I said, it's not going to turn into a loser, but I want to make sure I'm getting my profit in between VWAP and I suppose 70 even, but I want to let it fall as much as it can. As long as we don't get stopped out, we should be willing to hold on a little bit longer to that trade. Upstart is the other one we're looking for. I said if it broke VWAP, I'd try to get the short near the high of the day. Upstart couldn't break VWAP, and with the market just breaking and retesting these lows, very unlikely that it does do that. So the only short I'm in is going to be Rivian at this point, and then we'll have a quick look in about a minute when we open up an ISPO.
Yeah, and look what we did on Fastly. I mean, I don't know what was going on with this one, but we were able to get out at that 30 level, which was pretty nice for us right there on FSLY. So that's a good trade there. What am I getting hit on? Oh, Roblox. Okay, so here we go. Roblox down to 55. So if it breaks 55, we're gone. It looks like it's going to do that right now. So this could be our first negative trade here today. If Roblox does break back down below this 55, yeah, it's just getting hit again. You know, what are you going to do? It was up here at 56. That was probably a little too high for the name considering the environment here today. But we'll see if it bounces off that 55. If not, we're out, and then we'll look to see about a reload maybe even lower than that down here somewhere. But maybe 55 is a little bit too soon for this one. So let's just wait to see where this goes. But right now, the market is pushing lower. I'm just canceling my 55. Going to give this a little bit out at 55, but not everything. So we'll get some out so that we don't bleed this thing all the way down, and then we'll watch out for 54. Remember, we lost a lot of money going long on Roblox yesterday, so we don't want to do the same thing here again today. But you know, we have to respect some levels. So Roblox here breaking through 54, 55 is a decision that I have to make. So we'll get out of half, and then we'll reload it back down near like 54.20 or something like that, and try to respect the trend here on Roblox. So we'll buy it here, see what happens. And just quickly here, I tweeted out yesterday, because we talked about the NFTs, and actually I got a pretty cool one. This is Matt Stafford. So again, Super Bowl touchdown right here. 10,000 of them made, and this is number 206. So here we go. Here's the man, Cooper Kupp in the end zone there. So when this goes on Marketplace, I feel like this will be a good one to have. There it is, all day, NFL all day. You guys into NFTs at all? This is a pretty good pull right here. So there it is, nice Cooper Kupp TD, Dapper Labs, not public. I think they're going to go public at some point. So Dapper Labs, an interesting look there if you guys are into crypto companies or NFT, sorry. Yeah, to the downside there was some size. There it is right there on Roblox. Probably breaks, guys. So just watch out for that.
So let's not look any gift horses in the mouth. They should have one of the face mask or non-call. That would be a fun one. Anyways, because that kind of could almost turn the game. Then they made a makeup call of it. That ISPO, $1.54 per share. So I actually said to Sean, like, if it gets to $50, that's too obvious of a level. And because it only takes us seconds at Day Trade the World, like, I can ask for that locate and go get a quote and pay for it in less than a minute. So if I don't like it at this price, that $1.50 price tag, but I like it at $50, well, I can wait till it halts up again or makes a bigger move and go and revisit it at that point. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't like paying for it right now, so I'm not forced to do it. It's not channeling my inner Arun. If it was 5 cents, it was 20 cents, I would easily be taking it. It opened up and immediately shot higher. So there is a chance it gets to a price where it's worth the $1.50 in my view. That might be $50. Brendo.
It's worth noting on that 15.9 million shares, guys. There is a slight short interest as well, 2.1% on ISPO. So not a lot of shares involved there.
No, not a lot of shares at all.
A SPAC with a short interest? But that's actually a very small short interest. It's more about liquidity in that particular case than anything else. You mentioned 55 on Roblox. The only reason I'm going to go to it is 53 was almost a god level on the bid, so let's watch out for 53. If it cracks at 55, the only bid to me worth defending is 53 even. Brendo again?
It's actually formerly a SPAC, so Thayer Ventures Acquisition Corporation, so it's now Inspirato Incorporated, which is a luxury travel brand. So it was formerly SPAC, guys. That's why there's short interest now.
Desperado.
There you go.
Yeah, okay, so we'll look. ISPO
movie.
obviously is about to open. Did it open up yet?
It did, but it went higher. I'm not paying for the shorts.
Right, that was the talk.
Again, we're going to trade. You got to have parameters on what you're going to want to trade here, guys. And for me, that's just too expensive given the price range. Rivian right back to 71.50. It resisted that level once again, so it's a good level on that 15. It's now held it twice. I'm still looking for VWAP on the retracement. This market is just starting to get flushed a little bit here, so have to start thinking about, okay, I know I love Fisker and I wanted to hold it all day long, but that pre-market high, it's like about 1343, 1345 area. If we take out 1340, I'm going to trail it out. It's just the market's a little bit weak to be trying to hold on to it all day long. I'm going to get the trail out in. I can always buy the dip if I like it, but locking in profit not locking in profit the last couple of days has certainly burned me. I'm not going to let that happen here. This is what's happening in Tesla, by the way. I said Tesla, a bit of a barometer. It's broken 900s and accelerating. That's another reason why I want to lock in that profit if 1340 gets taken on Rivian. Not Rivian, on Fisker. So that'll be the last of the two longs. Palantir, as long as it's above 12, I'll hold on to that last little bit. Brendo?
Kraft Heinz, KHC, earnings this week as well. Number of positive notes this morning. Price target increases on Kraft Heinz, right at day highs right now on decent volumes here. For KHC, I just saw the stock 600 over in Europe. Got today lows as we speak. There's 1 hour left in the session over there. What's up, Miss V?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are negative. Airbus trading in Paris is down more than 1%, even as it predicted 720 jetliner deliveries and higher profit in 2022. Back to you.
Yep. Trying to bounce in North America currently, but session lows overall, guys.
Oh, Airbus. They reported, I believe, as well. So I should be checking on Boeing at some point. What I'm actually going to do here, I mean, the market is bouncing a little bit, but as we get down further in Rivian, as long as you hold a double top like this, I'm going to be open to the notion if we're taking out the low of the day, I'm canceling my bid in front of 69 and willing to back it off to like 68.5 or even retaking some of those lows. I just feel if you've got something working off a good level, why not try to hold on to it? Now, I'm saying that in the context of the market making a bit of a bounce off those lows. You can barely tell, but a tiny bounce in the NASDAQ off of those lows. If they get retaken and I can hold on to the short, then I want to make sure I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just checking back in on not Roblox. Forget about you, Roblox. But Upstart, that looks pretty weak to me. And it's trying to break VWAP. I do still like this trade. If we can get it up 155, 156 for a short, it's just not really trying to break out here. So I don't want to get too far ahead of it. And DoorDash, we didn't hang on to that trade for that $5 It would have given us that 114 that we're looking for, so we could have got an extra buck out of it, but the decision to cover was still a good one. It just bounced back to those lows. With the market testing the bottom, I don't need to revisit that trade. We're going to hit the money and run. The mistakes that were made for me on Airbnb yesterday, that's been rectified by waiting for the market to open, then wait for it to enter your price area, and then allow it to bounce first and then get in. I did that in Airbnb, it would have been my best trade. Instead, I decided to catch a falling sword and got burned. Not today on DoorDash.
All right, we're long into NVIDIA now, and we could, maybe I should be doing that. We're in the money net 80 cents now. We could scalp it out, but let's just hold and see. Maybe the NASDAQ, and I don't know if it's made a bottom or not, but let's just try to hold out and see. I mean, NVIDIA is just getting spanked down pretty hard here, down 8% now. So no, we don't. It is just trying to catch a falling sword. That's really all that this name is right here. And I know the value in NVIDIA. I like the name. I think it's a strong investment on these levels. But hey, like I said, man, you got to sort of take apart your investment thesis versus your day trading thesis. And this is just coming to the downside like crazy here. I thought we would have a chance. I put I'm long at 243. My offer's at 246. I thought right now on a little bit of a NASDAQ bump that there is a chance that we could retrace back up to the 50 period. I don't know about VWAP at 249, but I think there's a chance to go. I do want to respect this bottom though of 241.50. So if we take that out, then we're gone. So I'm going to try to give this one, like I just said, about $1.50 worth of move to the downside and see if we can't capture double that or more to the upside. But again, the market has to go. I'm willing to die on an NVIDIA long against that bottom. Not die, but I'm willing to lose on an NVIDIA long against that bottom. That's it. I just don't want to go short at these levels. So it's just that. I need to find something else to go short on, which leaves me to maybe Fastly. We could have, Firm, a PayPal, maybe we'll look at that. But $20.90 there was the reload. And Fastly was the only short I had today. Look, in, out, 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 respected all those levels, and it respected the day bottom in the pre-market. So that's an interesting stock for us. As Palantir, I'm the same way. I'm waiting. We could have reloaded at VWAP. I was waiting for lower. As it's hard to say, I want to buy this move up here when the market's coming down. So, it's just trying to respect it, waiting for lower bottom here on Palantir. It looks like that bottom might have been 30. Microsoft. Okay. Good name for us today. We're positive on Softy. We dumped it off there at 294 when it broke. Its bottom is 293.50. We'll see if we test that. But honestly, I'm trying right now to trade as best as I can, and it's going to rely on NVIDIA. So I'm long NVIDIA, I'm long Roblox. If the market bounces back, we'll have a hell of a run back to the upside. So let's try to hold on to all of these. 246 is my target here for NVIDIA. That's where my offer is.
So I did check back and it sort of said under my breath, what's a firm doing? Of course, it actually retested, broke that 42, so I'm not going to take it on the way back in. It's just if I miss that first trade the first time, I don't need to jump back into it when it's breaking back out. It didn't get to 43 for an entry point, but you are seeing it still fall. That's under a ton of pressure, and I just don't really see it changing. I look at it this way, until it's a short till it's not, and treat every stock that moves like this in the same way. Maybe it gets to 40 even, and that's a defensible level. I've said that all week, and I think I'll stick to that. I think if I'm not shorting this stock, it's got to be 40 even. That's where I'll dig into the long trade. Going to check on Rivian, which is super strong here. As much as the short has worked for me, you're now starting to see it push back up to that 71.50. So if it makes a break from here and you happen to have still been holding on to the long, it's got some room above 71.50 that if it takes out that level, you're talking 75, you're talking 80. So Rivian showing some signs of strength. Hopefully that'll transfer over to Fisker. That's the one that we're still holding on to that long. I've put my trail in now, and I don't want it breaking that 1340. I think at this point it almost feels a little bit too tight, but banking profit, no one ever went broke taking it. You still have Tesla below that 900 level that's trying to reclaim it. I do also want to take a shot at AMAT at some point. Now, I did say I love their report. I just felt like, NVIDIA getting punished, the market getting pummeled, so they're going to go down no matter what. Nothing about their report wasn't fantastic. They bottomed out at 135. You just made a higher low at 136. You're popping over to the daily. The best support's at 130, which I mentioned when someone was asking about it. But hey, guess what? On the week, you have had support at 137 and then support here at 135. So I like this channel. I'll go at 136 long if it gives it to me with a bit of a 135 stop. And as I said, you've got to be willing to do it. I put my trailing stop in Fisker, just given the market conditions. It's going to go right into that target area down here. This is where your break was at 1275 or so. We take it out in the first channel. We take it back out when it trails in. So we're now down to the last stock standing long for me. And somehow it's Palantir. Brendo?
Just watching Roblox, still positive, 2% in fact. There was this that just came out. So the Bear Cave at it again, talking about more problems at Roblox on the short side, guys, for RBLX.
All right. So I sit back down here and notice that NVIDIA is $3 or $2 in the money. And of course, I hit offer enter. So let's see if we get a fill. We were waiting at 245.90 there for NVIDIA. And unfortunately, it only went there, goes nice out. Boom. Yes, sir. So no negative stocks. Actually, AMC's negative. We just turned NVIDIA around, obviously, on that trade. So now we'll keep going to the upside on NVIDIA. So a good trade here for me on that name, as it looks like it's working. Let's go, NVIDIA. Let's cancel. I don't have anything else. So we'll see if this one can fly here today. And again, this is how you trade, man. At least this is how I trade. Like, respect, respect, respect. Get in, get in, get in. It breaks your key level of 250. You get out. Therefore, you don't have to worry about this. Wait for a base. Now let's go. No offers on NVIDIA. $3 in the money. That was a good idea finally for us on that one. I have no idea what Brendan just said about Roblox, but I am in Roblox. So we'll wait. We got out there at a 55 break. That 55 bid right there is what we have left. We are waiting for it to come back to the downside and then respect 53 down there. So as long as the market wants to retrace, I think we'll be fine. Palantir doing Palantir things. We're not in that name. AMC, we did get out on this break, but it's just kind of been pretty choppy here back and forth. So we did have a nice long there on AMC, but then we pushed a 20 long. That didn't work. And then we pushed a 80 long, and that didn't work. These are just like 5, 6, 7 cent hits. But again, this is, in fairness, I told you that you could ask at any time, and I am red on AMC today because we did take that trade, which was a decent amount of shares. It's more in here where we got clapped out a little bit. It's kind of like a fee thing, but we are red on that one. As there it goes, man. Thank God, mamma mia, there goes NVIDIA. Man, do we have this one. $3 in the money now on NVIDIA, so this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you're right in the chat there. Dominic, ISPO is now halted at 42 with an indicated open at 48. So just like I said I would, I can wait for it. I'm not chasing along on a stock like this. Forget about it. Not going to happen. I think people should always be taking profit. Actually, now unavailable. There's no locates at all. But it is starting to get out of hand on this thing. The recent D-SPAC, as Brendan pointed out, going parabolic because there's not a ton of liquidity here. I'm going to keep checking back because at this point, the only thing I want to do is see if it gets to 50 and makes a right-hand turn. And that's just because it's a round number. There's nothing else to it. It's a round number. At that point, it's up 4.5 times from yesterday's close price. Just over 4 times from yesterday's close price, and a double up from the morning, which is pretty crazy in my book. At some point, it's going to fall. It's just a matter of when and how far it's going to do that. This market is trying to make a bit of a bottom. I see a few names upside there, but Brennan, he's going to point them out in Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, maybe one or two. Otherwise, very red. Right across the board today, 1.3 right now, 1.37 to the downside. There are a few things of note. Hasbro over there, Cisco here, both off earnings to the upside. A few in the real estate group as well, off earnings. The energy group as well, Marathon. They reported Devon tonight, DVN tonight after market. So otherwise, we're looking at a lot of negativity. Once again, if you're wondering, this is via C. I remember yesterday the earnings and then, or sorry, I should say Paramount now. Viacom now Paramount. So another 19.5% to the downside for them off that report yesterday. Healthcare stocks among the leaders to the downside. Almost the entire group in the red. Same story for financials and tech outside of Cisco. Not much to see here. NVIDIA 8.3% to the downside. There's AMD right beside it, 3.5%. So pretty red right across the board. Take your pick outside of, as I said, a few positive earnings names. 1.36 for the market, though, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah, Hasbro, an activist investor, urging them to push for Wizards of the Coast spinoffs. That's a game that I clearly know, or something I know nothing about. Maybe Prad's heard. I've never heard of that, but apparently it's enough to get Hasbro upside 6%. I don't know.
It's activist movement.
It's an activist movement. There you go. Yeah. Fisker, like I said, we got out when it looked like it was a trend break and the market was going down. For now, it feels like a good decision, but that's one that could look terrible by the end of the day, but you got to try to stick to your rules here. Rivian continue. We're going to hold on to this one, but it continues to test that high. You're still getting that barcode, testing 71.50. The short is still working. I'm not reloading it. I'm not adjusting my stop. I'm just holding on to this. It either takes out 71.5 or we get a push down. I'm willing to cancel my bid and give it more room to the downside, especially given that Tesla is continuing to hold below 900, continuing to test that bottom. The NASDAQ overall market looking like it wants to push lower. I cannot possibly see a way that Tesla holds below 9, continues to break lows, maybe goes 885, and we don't get a rollover in Rivian, especially if the NASDAQ stays under pressure here. Upstart, that's the one we'll have missed. There's nothing I can do about it at this point. I don't think we're going to... You might not get the trade. I'm not going to force it. I'm trying not to force it here on Upstart. It's tempting when you want it to just jump into the short when you see it consolidate, but it's so far away from where I would like it that I can't do it.
Yeah, I think I'll go Rivian for sure now. I think this is a great short up here, 71.50. So watch. I think you got to pay for shorts today, right? So I'll have to go in.
We
there.
always have to pay for
yeah,
shorts.
I know. That's what sucks. But look at it. Nvidia right now. We'll hit the cannon off again. We're starting to go upside now. $3.40 or so in the money, or actually more than that right there. As we look to take out this 247 area now off this 243 bottom. So far so good here on Nvidia. Let's see where we go. We talked about PayPal earlier. This is a name that we always should be looking at, but this name, look, like no love. It's straight to the downside for PayPal. Like no bounce back on this name, despite barcoding here in the futures, which you can see right here. The futures not doing anything right now, so it's kind of surprising. Not surprising, but PayPal just continues to make new and new lows. I mean, I think this is going to be the 52-week low for sure. Every day, every time it makes a low, it's just, I don't think, like we haven't tested this range yet. 108. Wow, PayPal, what the hell are you doing right now? Okay, Roblox, the other position that we have on board now, and it's just sitting here chilling. So I'm fine with this. I think Roblox runs to the high side. We're barely out. We're barely down on this name, but we'll wait to see if it goes back now. We're long at 55.20, which was part of this average in. 40s there, 20s there, out flats. So it's a 40-cent hit on this position. So all Roblox needs to do is really get back to VWAP and then Moon, and this will be a good trade for us on Roblox. So that's what we're looking for. And then let's check back in on Softy, another very positive name for me today. If the market goes, obviously we like it. I think the market will flow back to this 14,400 like we like. So if that happens, man, I'm going to take a Microsoft break of 294.40 or so, whatever this 50-period moving average is there. 294.40, we'll put our order in for Softy to take that for the long side, especially if this market blasts off like I expect it to. What's up, Brendo?
All right, thanks, guys. We're talking lithium today. We're happy to have United Lithium Corporation with us. We're going to focus on the EV sector once again. This company has been recently energized once again with the increased global demand for lithium for battery and battery production for the EV space. We're happy to have Michael Den, President and CEO of United Lithium, with us today. So happy to see you once again, Michael. Thanks for jumping on. Let's start maybe with a little bit of an overview. We'll jump into, as we said, the demand increase in demand here in the EV space. But why don't you give them an introduction first of United Lithium?
United Lithium's a CSE-listed company, OTCBB, trades Canada, Germany, US. We're primarily in Canada, Finland, and Sweden. Drilling currently in Sweden, and hopefully you'll see some big milestones from us this year.
Time to be involved in the space. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about the Finland and Sweden operations here, but the company focused on North America and Europe, and specifically the gigafactories in Europe and the increase in demand, which is astronomical. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what we've seen over the past few years when it comes to the increase in demand to kick things off?
It's amazing that I think there's over 40 gigafactories now in Europe, and there's just one mine. So there's almost no production available to the current marketplace. Everything has to come from Australia or from South America or from China. So the North American market's similar. There's a bit more production in North America, not as many gigafactories. But when you really look at the European market, they are way behind on the raw material supply and way ahead on the battery factories. And then at some point, these battery factories are going to be sitting without raw materials.
That's amazing. I mean, some of the numbers that we see on the graphic there, we'll go back to that in a second, but the increase and the projection specifically of the increase going out to, as we saw there on the graphic, 2050 is pretty staggering.
Yeah, we're looking at a couple blips in the next 10 years. We're likely going to be in a deficit for 3 or 4 years now, production potentially catching up, and then another deficit around 2030. We recently saw in Serbia that Rio Tinto had their licenses pulled for the Jadar deposit. That was going to be close to 30% of Europe's lithium production. That just got wiped out this year. So, whatever the projections were in December, they're messed up for at least the next 5-10 years.
Let's talk about the process involved here. For those maybe not familiar with, the extraction process of lithium, what is involved? And talk maybe a little bit about the timeline that it takes as well.
Sure. And the mining is quite simple for hard rock. You think of it maybe like a limestone quarry. You drill, you blast, you crush, and that's how you get the rock out of the ground. It's not an underground situation. It's a open pit situation in our case. On the processing side, you can do a little bit of pre-concentration with dense media separation or optical sorting, and then we use another process called flotation. And if you're a miner, typically that's where you stop. If you want to go the next step, then you become a chemical maker and you're making lithium hydroxide or lithium carbonate.
We've seen and we've heard and seen a number of automakers over the past couple of years talking about projections of turning their entire fleets into electric vehicles before 2030, 2035, 2040. When it comes to North America specifically, where do we see this market going and the demand going for this product?
Well, anywhere where you have a major center with millions of people and you're not driving 400 kilometers a day, like long-haul truckers, I don't see a practical application to electrification of vehicles unless you're going to do a hydrogen or ammonia fuel cell. But for commuters going into Toronto from the suburbs, going into New York City from the burbs, anyone in California pretty well now, electrification works where you have ability to charge. And as long as the electric grid can keep up with the demand for electric vehicles, we'll probably do okay in North America. Our grid's relatively stable, where we've got the national grids put in. You see little places like Texas where you have sort of a different grid system. They're going to have to fix the grid to support these EV demand if it grows quickly there.
Yeah, we saw that with that freeze that they had going back a couple of years, or maybe it was last year, in fact, where that snow came in.
Last year,
yeah, it was. And the power was out for a week or so. But I mean, it's an exciting time to be in this space, as we said. What can investors expect from the company going forward here?
Well, we're hoping to have a resource complete for Sweden by the end of the year. We expect to have a pilot plant up and running middle of the year, and testing accepting deposits, our own projects, but other people's, just to show how robust our concentrated making ability will be. And then from there, we will continue to do hopefully a partnership with a chemical company. We have the ability now to make lithium carbonate. We demonstrated that last year, and by the end of this month, we should be able to demonstrate that we can produce a high purity lithium hydroxide. That's not really our strength. We've got the ability, we have the technology, but I think we're better off partnering on that part of the process with a BASF or a LG Chem or some other third-party chemical company, where you actually can get the upside from their skill set. Our skill set is really on the mining and concentrate side. And if you've seen the failures in the lithium industry in North America, they didn't fail on the mining, they failed on the chemical production.
Michael Denz, President and CEO of United Lithium. We appreciate you doing this today, Michael. Best of luck, and we look forward to an update in the future.
Thanks very much.
Have a great day. There we go. Check them out, guys. The ticker's at the bottom of the screen there.
Yes, sir. United Lithium. Lithium, a play that we've been talking about some lithium recently, certainly. I know some people looking at Lithium America. There's of course, also the ETF, which is the big one. I'm kind of wishing I had just pulled the trigger and paid for those IPSO shorts. Now, obviously, I can't have known that there wouldn't be any locates when it got to $60. Well, it's not at $60 yet. It just halted again. The indicated open price is at $60 on this thing. It has gotten absolutely out of hand. This is not an actual, there's some deep prints going off here, but it halted at about $55 up here. And we're looking at it open in about a minute, or just under a minute, and it's continuing to rock to the upside. It's multiple halts. It's shown no signs of making a curl. At this point, outside of 60 being an even number, you're talking 75, but I can't short it anyways. Tesla continues to break lower, 888 on the bottom. So I said I would do this in Rivian if it did this. So you're consolidating lower. I'm canceling my bid on Rivian. If you've got a short that's working and it's at these levels, like why wouldn't you just hold on to it and see how far it can go with the market tracking down? I'm just in this short and Palantir long after having the trail out. We took the profit on Dash, came all the way back. We took the trail out on Fisker. That's pulling back as well. But the market getting cracked a bit here.
Yeah, the market's starting to go back upside a little bit here. We have a Microsoft long, so that's going to try to work out for us. We tried to get some more NVIDIA as it came right back into didn't come close enough, back to 243 here as it started to make down moves on this break of the futures. Again, day's low just got broken on the NASDAQ. So yeah. Okay, so we still are, just an update here. We still are in Roblox. I'm just going to try to respect the 53 level that's down here because I'm in this, and it's $1 against me. I've already taken out half the risk there for 40-cent hit. Obviously, hindsight, wish we would have taken out more there, but I'm trying to respect down here 54 and change. Actually, now that I look at that level, nothing wrong with maybe putting another bid here down near 54.20 or so, 54.30. So we are bidding down here 54.30 to try to get some more shares, and then another big bid in here somewhere. I'll tell you exactly where. 53.30, so back into here. If it makes a move to the downside, then that's the last sort of straw for us here on Roblox. I might actually bump this up a little bit to 53.50. That'll be the last shot. If it takes out yesterday's bottom, then that's what it does, and we'll wait to see if that works for us or not. It doesn't look like it right now. AMC check back, okay, 1984 is still up there. Good trade on that one. And I don't have much else, man. I mean, we're just trying to get longer on NVIDIA. If it does come back, check back in on that Rivian short. I should have taken it. Oh, we just talked about that 71.50. Great opportunity to get short. Bouncing now off the 50 period here for Rivian, but I'm not going long Rivian. I've been short biased that name for a while. So yeah, things are starting to go now. Microsoft back to the upside here. Roblox trying to go down more. We'll wait to see 53. So I think that's going to be my big trade today. If we get anywhere near 53, it could be a day changer. So we'll wait for that. And then I'm being as patient as I can with Palantir. We just took one more out there as it bounced around the 50 period a bit. We'll see if Palantir can come back in for a reload down near 12.
And yeah, I forgot one thing. We only have about 5 minutes to go here, but AMAT, that was the other earnings report. We traded some NVIDIA, caught the bounce there. AMAT goes all the way to 135. We don't get it. I mentioned this higher low that it put in around 136. I am actually on that bid in front of 136. You can see like 136.5. I'm only really giving it to just a little bit below 136. I don't want to hold this all the way back to the low of the day with the market on the bottoms. It's the relative strength that I like here. So if it's holding a higher low, that's great. But I don't want to sit there and be too stubborn about that trade. I would have thought we'd be open back. You know what? It must be a 10-minute halt on ISPO. So if you're wondering what's going on with this name, it's probably a 10-minute halt, given the fact that it's not open right now. So you might not get to see how this moves until we go to a certain duo, which is going to be Trader Pratt and Miss V for Market Movers. Until then, we'll head on over to the desk with Brendan, I believe.
All right, today, or last night, I guess, aftermarket was very busy for earnings. Still a few notable names to get through in this earnings season. We are getting to the end, however. Here is what is to come tonight and tomorrow morning.
Never heard of those two.
No, two ones in the middle. We never trade those. Well, we don't trade Roku, but we're all over DraftKings. We can have a look at that. I don't even know what that thing is doing today. Probably downside. We're getting ready to punch long back into Palantir. But other than that,
it's just, I don't really see much else. But
yeah, I don't even know any of these other companies, to be honest with you. Like Diamond Rock. Like I honestly, I don't know. Just be honest with you. I'm not familiar with pretty much any of those. So.
Well, I mean, I know Yamana Gold. We're not trading it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not one name on there other than DraftKings and Roku we've ever traded.
True. Well, you know what? That might not be true because I think we might have traded Sunrun. I feel like I might have traded that.
Well, that's the point. I mean,
but either way, look, Roku.
Maybe we traded Dropbox at one point too.
Roku's getting clapped today. Well, I mean, the market's down. Roku's down 6% going into earnings. Remember we saw Oh, shoot. It was Fiverr. That's who it was. It was Fiverr
Yep.
that was getting crushed 10% down going into earnings, and there was some good trades after that. But Roku's at interesting levels. I mean, you have this multi-day support down about $10 from here at 140, 141, somewhere in that range. So you're getting to some levels on Roku that could be pretty spicy. I mean, specifically today, you're looking at 150, but on the daily chart, it's really that low 140 range that's going to be of concern. It's not always a sign of things to come when you have something falling into earnings. Example number one would be Upstart. Remember how bad Upstart looked going into earnings? And then it was just like an absolute rocket ship. Maybe not so much today, but we're going to be watching this in the close show. Anything that reports in this market, you got to be watching the day before in Power Hour. You know, we'll be all over those names when they come in. ISPO decided to open up, and yeah, it's in down halt. So,
Yeah, no surprise.
It just instantly halts to the downside. Look, this is going to be, it is what it is. Like $60, it goes to that next even number. It opens up at 57, goes $1, so rejects even going higher than $1, and then reclaims the previous halt price at 56, which is usually the entry I'm looking for. But guess what? I didn't pay for those locates, so that's pie in my face. Right now, $1.50 cost when you'd be shorting at about 55. With a stop up here at that high at 58, risking $3. Add in the 150, that's $4.50, and it's already would be $4.50 in the money. So I guess it would have been worth it. Brendo?
I just checked again, Neil. It's $7.24 now per share for ISPO. So that was a good deal. That was a good deal.
You could, I'm telling you, man, if you could buy the locates on a stock when it's, because like, okay, so it was $1.50.
But I know what you're going to say, but if you could do that, then it wouldn't happen.
I know, but it's
The prices wouldn't be like that.
That's actually better than, almost better than the trade. It goes 5x the cost of the locates when the stock goes double. Okay.
Crazy. New position alert right now. Fire off the cannons for the one that we love the most, Palantir, here today. This is not going to be a very long trade at all. If we come back down and break even VWAP right now, 30. I don't want to be in a name that is not going to work in this environment. I mean, if it wants to go up, great. But if it does break, we're going to get out at 12.29. Very small, fast. I just said that we'd get into this. We're long at 12.34. But if it breaks, we're going to get out because realistically, I want to put on something bigger down here. So let's wait. I'm not going to hold this all the way to the downside, but right now, Palantir, I like it for a long, but not a long time. I mean, if it breaks back down below 12.30, then we can get out. So here it is, starting to go. There it goes. Yes, sir. Got some out at 38. All we have to do is talk about it. This is awesome because we're ending the day, and the People's Trader, we're at the #1 spot we've been at all day here for us today, as far as net-wise. For me, the highest spot we've been at all day. Look at this. Another reload right there. We're hoping that was a good idea on Roblox. We missed that bottom, but we just took it here at 60. So let's see if Roblox wants to go back up to the upside. What a good time to end the show. But let's see what Miss V's up to over there.
Hey guys, it's a busy morning so far, and I hope you're all doing great. Please join Prad and me right after to continue trading this day, and happy National Cabbage Day, everyone.
Okay. It's good for you.
I like cabbage rolls.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm. See, you get a cabbage roll. That's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Shout out to my Croatian uncle. I mean, this guy kills cabbage rolls. Cabbage rolls very, very popular.
But that's a
Cabbage
weird
rolls
day, though.
popular in Russia, right? Cabbage? Yeah, with meat. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Pork in there, I think, is the preferred for the Croatians there. That's always fun when Croatia plays Italy. My Croatian cousins are nuts. But shout out to everybody there that likes cabbage. I like cabbage. I like cabbage rolls, but they have to be made properly. But they're good. I'm a fan of cabbage rolls. Actually, I'm going to tell the wife
it's easy to
about
mess
cabbage
up,
rolls.
actually, when you think about it. You can overcook it a bit, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, but that's a good idea. I think we'll work on. Yesterday we had falafel tacos, which is pretty nice. Those were good. Yeah, they had some radish in there and things like that. So we're similar to the cabbage. But okay, it's 11 o'clock.
It is 11 o'clock. One last time, congratulations to the Canadian women's hockey team for the win over the USA and the gold medal. But it is time for us to send you to Trader Brad and Miss V. It's Market Movers. Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
Oh, Canada.
Our home and native land. Are we going to sing the whole song?
No, only the first.
Not the whole anthem.
One day.
It's been so long since I've done it. I used to do it in high school all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the all-Canadian, also American, I guess all global show, the Trader TV Live Market Makers Show with